I'll be live, I think. Yes, we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another hangout. With me today, I have the Rumpus. How are you, man?
I'm not too bad, actually, today. I'm feeling better than I've felt for about 8 weeks, 10, 12 weeks of my broken shoulder.
Even with that hangout with Nathan Thompson earlier?
I must admit, that did affect my health briefly, but I think I've recovered from that. Though I did just have a rather unpleasant experience with, I think it's Flat Earth Data. He came in and said he was going to show to the world how I've been a complete and utter liar. And he's going to make a video exposing how the use of an orthographic view is deceptive, and he was using only perspective views. So presumably you're not allowed to use architectural drawings of bridges and buildings and things and deploy them, apparently, because that doesn't represent perspective. So he's now going to invalidate. Oh, that's right. And he believes that the Rayleigh criterion accounts for things disappearing from the bottom up. And he gave me a challenge that he's now going to put into video, and so that made me feel a bit unwell. I did a lot of and we had 5 minutes of shouting at him, so actually that affected my health, but I'm almost recovered.
Oh god, that will be annoying once that video is out. Prepare for a lot of stupid.
Yeah.
Bullionator, hey, how are you?
I'm good. Just looked forward to this all day, so I just
prepare your face protecting oven gloves because it's gonna get bad. Bob,
standing by.
Oh, it's my crew.
Ja, hallo und guten Abend.
Hi, guten Abend, wie geht's?
Es geht, aber ich bin traurig.
Du bist traurig, okay.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Get well soon, or whatever is happening to you. We'll see. Micro, I've seen you've joined. Hi, how are you?
That's what he said.
And other noises.
Okay, Jared.
Micro sounded really unwell.
He sounds about as well as I feel, but then again,
what have you done?
Lack of sleep, and then had to go to work, and then had a doubleheader of baseball today. So right now, my hip and knees are screaming at me. What the fuck do you think you were doing today?
You're getting old, aren't you?
We're all wrecks then, except for Geo.
Well, no, mine is not age related. Mine is injury related. I'm dumb enough to continue to try to play, even though I have a hernia pointed right at my sciatic nerve.
That sounds age related.
We're gonna do a little survey here. Everybody who has a broken
worse, but it's in fact okay. But everyone else is terrible, right?
We're gonna do a little survey here. Everybody who has a bad knee or shoulder or hip or ankle or whatever, raise your hands.
He can't see our hands, you idiot.
Me. Where's the hand raising feature in Hangout?
Hold on. How are the people with broken shoulders supposed to raise their hand?
You do have two shoulders.
You need to learn to count, Micro. You need to learn to count.
No, that is why I said. That's why I said shoulders.
Okay, last but not least, Mariah. Hey, how are you?
I'm still alive.
That's great, I think. Well, for you. Yep. Not necessarily for humanity, but definitely for you.
Yeah.
Yep. How much alcohol should I get for this?
7.
Buy a beer.
All of it.
7.
Oh, let me grab some beer then.
Is this
okay?
Just what we're about to do, Gio, is this going to make me feel even worse?
Oh yes. To the audience, just a little warning. I am suffering from some serious computer problems right now. For whatever reason, the new Windows 10 update, I think, is somehow conflicting with my NVIDIA drivers. So for the first time in 7 years of operation, this machine blue-screened earlier today. Well, about 20 minutes ago.
And you told me how bloody good Windows 10 was on that update. You bloody fibber.
It's fine. Driver issues happen. But anyway,
that's the weirdest excuse for having the man flu I've ever heard.
This machine is in its last month of primary service duty anyway. I'm gonna buy one of those neat new Ryzen machines once they come out on 7th of July.
Primary service duty. You're getting a new one. Like
no. I will not toss the old one. Old gaming computers become servers. Everybody knows that.
The way you phrased it made it sound like
the institution of Geo has decided that his vast resources are going to be added to, and he's going to have to move from one warehouse to the other.
Like you're running a nuclear power plant.
Well, the heat output kind of is similar. Especially with the new one.
Is this the one with the liquid cooling, Geo?
No, the new one will probably be air-cooled.
No, but the new one, the one that has having a problem, is it liquid cooled?
The one I'm having right now is liquid-cooled, yes.
Right. Okay.
But
you have to pee in it.
the liquid cooling system I have is completely overkill. I got it for the CPU I actually had before the current one, which had 120 watts CDP, and my current one only has 77 watts.
Right.
So there's enough space to actually upgrade, but I'm going for an air cooling system this time, for the simple reason that this 120 millimeter all-in-one cooler is actually getting a little bit unreliable, and I think there's gas bubbles inside that start to bubble.
How many bursts is that?
4.
Well, if you are able to see graphite blocks, you're probably gonna die.
Yeah, no. I'm going for a big ass air cooling system, I think, this time. Because otherwise, probably I'd need a 240 millimeter cooler, and that would mean I would have to change my case. And the new cases aren't as practical as the old ones, hot swappable drive base, manual fan control, that kind of thing. Good luck finding that in a new computer case. So yeah, air cool it is, I think. Anyway, Mr. Thrive and Survive. So, who of you guys have already seen the video?
Not me.
From something air cool to uncool.
Very good, Micro. You want to be on the stage, Micro?
Yeah.
Somebody's already mentioning Chernobyl in the side chat, and I'm saying, yeah, well, speaking of meltdowns, here's Mr. Thrive and Survive video. Okay, so I have to warn you, this one is about solar eclipses again.
Well, we kind of gathered that from the title.
Here we go again.
No, he's mentioning NASA. He could have gone off the rails in a different direction, but then again, that would be implying he was ever on the rails to begin with.
I think at this point the whole world is this rail. It sounds more poetic than it was intended to be.
Okay, let's try to do this in 1 minute increments this time, okay? So everybody shut the fuck up.
Good idea.
Oh yeah, for the people on the side chat who don't know, there's 2 geos in the stream because I'm using my laptop for streaming the video and my computer for the Hangout. Well, my main computer. So that's why I actually need 2 different accounts. And I'm in this Hangout twice.
Geo has sock puppets.
Just don't ask what other things you use them for.
What up? I mean, he might also have a puppet that's actually a sock.
Yeah, don't look under his bed. They might be crusty.
Under his bed? No. He keeps them in his fridge, so they're nice and cold.
I hate every single one of you. Okay, let's go. So 1 minute, everybody shut the fuck up.
Hey everyone, MrThriveAndSurvive. We are going to look at a total fallacy that anyone that uses any little bit of critical thinking can work out in their own mind that there's something big that's wrong here, and it's literally something big that is wrong. And you'll see the fallacy of the eclipses and the sizes of everything that they've been trying to show us and how it just doesn't work. So we've been sort of looking at the sun in a sort of a flat kind of a way, because although we know they say
it's massive.
We talk about.
Okay, I think we need to stop already. 46 seconds.
Holy shit!
I mean, he's right. We are gonna talk about a fallacy.
Okay, so how many mistakes do you guys notice already?
Well, first of all, there's the fact that he seems to think that, scale. Does he think this is to scale? I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, this is not to scale. That 4 fuck ups, depending on how you count it. The moon is too big for the Earth, and all the distances are way too short for obvious reasons.
Well, I'm also wondering. I'm assuming he also doesn't think that there's a continent that takes up an entire half of the Earth.
No, I think he's just using MS Paint
Yeah.
wrong and was to
Yeah.
actually draw a continent.
You would think someone who would be using MS Paint for these presentations for as long as he has, that his skills would somewhat improve. But no.
He's reached his limit. He's reached his potential.
He reached his potential in his second video.
Yeah. He's all out. He's done it. He's achieved destination talent.
He's waiting for a DLC that adds more levels.
Oh
Well,
god.
then I want to buy the DLC that removes him from this planet.
Yeah, that one's called a shotgun.
Well,
If we were that close to the sun, a year would take about half a day.
We would also be dead.
Well, yeah,
Very much.
that's true.
malicious intent.
Also, at this distance, probably the Earth would be torn apart.
Yeah, I don't think he's really trying to. I mean, is he just trying to draw the sizes to scale? Is that what he's trying to do?
Even then he failed because look at the moon, it's too big.
I'm pretty sure with
Well,
that.
I'm
I'm
sure
not
it's the moon. I'm sure this is even supposed to demonstrate a solar system, and it's not just the worst designed flag ever.
And we also seem to have a very, very deep ocean all the way around the Earth, apparently. It's
Yes.
Or is that the
very deep
atmosphere?
indeed.
We're secretly Europa that got too close to the sun.
Also, is it just me, or is the sun slightly green? I know the sun technically peaks in green wavelengths, but like it's not that green.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't really trust your eyes, Micro. I mean,
Well, for me, it's
you're not
perfectly
exactly.
yellow, at least on that screen that I have. On the other ones, I agree, they have a slight greenish hue, but my other monitors are shit when it comes to color correctness.
Since
So-
I have a color-corrected screen, yeah, it is greenish. Not quite lime green, but it is getting there.
I suspect the color of the Earth is going to be the least of the problems.
Well,
You think? Nah, come on, give him some credit. Nah, okay,
No,
fair enough.
it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse, trust me. So the next 45 seconds.
At 93 million miles away, you get into sort of flat things. And we're going to see that's actually not the way to look at this. And it took a guy at ASU, Arizona State University, when we had a flat Earth meetup, when Mike Ball was speaking to the planetary astronomer. I think that's what he called himself.
Not this.
He said something. It was like a little bell went off in my head. It was like, oh yeah, because when I spoke to him just a little bit, and I was trying to show him that you can't, from one light source, make a larger object smaller.
Oh my god!
And he got to talking about how the sun isn't flat; it's round, and it comes off at all angles. And I'm like, oh, you just killed yourself. You just don't even realize.
Sure.
Wait, how?
I'm gonna make a rash prediction. He's going to start drawing lines only from the sun that go out at a radially, and he's not going to have them coming from all points of the sun.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're kind of correct there.
Oh god!
That sounds
was
that
so
sounds
stupid.
very
I thought-
plausible.
I thought that'd be
That
the
would be
lowest below.
dishonest.
That'd be rash.
Oh, sorry.
my God.
And who believes for a second that he talked to a physics professor or whatever?
I believe he might have shouted at a physics professor.
I was going to say, he may have had commentary to someone of that stature. Whether or not he understood the
Exactly.
responses that came back,
Yeah.
different story
Well,
entirely.
hold on, like, I mean, are we even sure he got proper responses?
Well, we could say he talked, but did he actually hear what the guy said?
I have a feeling it was
or
probably a
comprehend
very
it.
one-sided conversation.
It's the comprehension that's the biggest problem. Now, he's probably got ears that work, but it's, as Jared said, it's the comprehension that's probably the issue.
Or he just said, "Hey there," to the guy, at the toilet
Yeah.
while pissing.
Then he probably said, "Hey there."
They were
use
both
the toilet
standing at the
to
urinal, and Rich reached out and started stroking his back.
I'm impressed with Shadow Falcon knows about the Roche limit in the chat. Well done.
Yeah, I think it did say something like that.
You
It was
didn't
torn
say
apart.
that. You just didn't use the word, but we know what you meant.
Shall we continue?
Yeah. Anyway, 45 more seconds because obviously we cannot do 1 minute, so we gotta go by 45 seconds.
That they've been teaching us and see the huge fallacy. Now, when you look up the science of how the seasons are made, on the Earth, you always get this. You get parallel rays striking the Earth. And the reason why, for example, 43 degrees is your angle right here at this part of the Earth is because the curve of the Earth is 43 degrees from parallel right here, where it strikes at 90 degrees. If the sun came in...
What? Did you guys notice the difference? You just made a calculation error.
Sorry, I was too...
Wow.
I was wondering why the fuck his graphic is from the Kurdistan Planetarium.
And I was bracing for stupid, so...
Can we have it again, Gio? Can we hear it again?
Yeah, notice what you're saying about 43 degrees. Maybe I misheard, but I think...
no, he definitely fucked it up.
Okay, so again, let's see.
That they've been teaching us and see the huge fallacy. Now, when you look up the science of how the seasons are made on the Earth, you always get this. You get parallel rays striking the Earth. And the reason why, for example, 43 degrees is your angle right here at this part of the Earth is because the curve of the Earth is 43 degrees from parallel right here.
Yep, I know it. 47. The answer is 47.
Use only one reference point, you nit. Oh, man. Wow. That's,
I didn't even notice that. Holy shit, that's
beautiful.
It really doesn't surprise me that he got that wrong, seeing as how the very first video of his I saw, he was trying to do a motion type of demonstration in paint, and it had to do with the sun moving around the North Pole, and he massively fucked up the frame of reference for the motion. So him getting that wrong, it just doesn't surprise me anymore.
That poor guy.
No. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that guy.
Everybody who tries to have a discussion with him. Anyway, painful. Let's continue.
Where it strikes at 90 degrees. If the sun came in at different angles, you could never calculate where the sun was on a curved Earth.
Bullshit.
It had.
Yes, Jared?
Sorry, that claim he just made right there. If it came in and it was always at these different angles, you'd never be able to calculate where the sun is. Bullshit. Triangulation is a thing. The angles don't have to match in order for you to be able to calculate where the object that the two opposing observers are actually looking towards. I mean, fuck. Let's just go with Red and Astronomy Live's parallax readings. They both had different elevation angles to the ISS. But guess what? They were still able to triangulate where the fuck it was.
By the way, I've invited Team Skeptic because I saw he's in the side chat. So, team, check your Discord. I've sent you an invite link.
Is it good or bad that I don't have any alcohol right now?
It depends on which alcohol. If you had, like, I don't know, hard liquor, it's probably good that you don't have it because you'll drink it so quickly that you probably die.
Yeah.
If it's only beer, then just go ahead and try to drink as much as possible because you won't get drunk of it anyway because it's so thin.
Yeah, but I literally do. Well, the only stuff I have is something that's been laced with that disgusting stuff that makes you puke. But I guess I could say, substitute it for acetone maybe or turpentine or something.
Drink it. It doesn't matter.
What?
Drink it. If there's alcohol in bleach, drink the bleach because you're going to need it.
Oh, hey, I know something that works even faster. Drink some glycol and make sure you rinse it out, all the glycol out of your esophagus, and then chug on some potassium manganate.
I don't know what happens. I'm not good with chemistry.
It's probably bad.
Let's just continue. This is. I don't recommend committing suicide with chemicals.
Yeah, sounds like great to me.
I mean, technically all suicides are with chemicals.
Basically speaking, yeah.
Not necessarily. If you throw yourself into a plasma pit, then no.
Well, what is that plasma pit?
Yeah, I know all those plasma pits that are just lying around. They're very popular with suicides these days.
Well, you can jump off a building. That's
That's not
Suicide.
chemicals.
No, that's suicide by physics.
No, it's like
The ground is a chemical.
chemicals.
Yeah.
The ground is a
Smash
chemical.
into it.
Can we just continue?
No, this is more fun.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but it's stupid, but less stupid than this.
Okay, everybody shut the fuck up. Let's continue.
Has to be parallel, and when you do the mathematics, I can't find the calculator. It used to be there. They probably took it down. But if you calculate the light coming off an object, even a flat object is what I assumed, at 93 million miles, it doesn't matter, flat or there, I think it's 89.986 degrees. So virtually parallel they have to strike. And here's another example. And why is this important? Again, for the seasons to work and actually for you to be able to measure where the sun is in the sky and to figure where your latitude is, the sun's rays have to always strike the earth parallel.
Stop. Okay, let's just assume even if the sun was closer, like way closer, that the angular diameter of it actually mattered for any kind of measurement, and everybody would just use the center of the sun as the reference point.
Yeah. He seems to think, like, the way he's saying it makes it sound like that he thinks that what we should see is basically like the whole sky being the sun, because there's no way to know where the light is coming from.
I'm inclined to think he's just simply neuron deficient.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I wish I was neuron deficient.
I mean, this is not Daniel Pratt. This is not Daniel Pratt level stupid, but dang.
Wait, is this actually worse?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, actually, that Pratt video last time with those weights, with those lifting weights, that little amount of soil. Remember that one?
Oh, he's made one that's more stupid than that, though. Yeah, imagine that.
Oh, fuck thing. Whatever. More garbage.
They have to. But what do they tell us? All of a sudden, there's a change when an eclipse happens.
Suddenly?
When an eclipse happens, this is what they show us happens right here. All of a sudden, we have the top of the sun rays suddenly come down, not parallel, but strike the earth here and create this shadow. From the bottom of the sun, they come up, strike the earth here. And this is why, I did a video called the
Wow. Did anybody notice that big not to scale right in the middle
I was
of the
about
screen?
to say.
Well, you have that, and the sun is not a point light source shooting a beam of light out in the direction of the earth.
Garrett, the sun is a giant laser.
Just no, it's an omnidirectional light source. So yes, having the lines cross like this to create shadows, that's how it fucking works.
Okay, by the way, remember this drawing, because it will get important later.
wide, and it's because during the solar eclipse, the moon's shadow on the Earth was only 70 miles wide. And people will say, oh, the partial eclipse, you have to count that too. No, there's no shadow on a partial eclipse. I'm sorry. The light is bright, but there's no...
Wait, Micro. Trust me, it's best just to listen to one or two more sentences.
There is no shadow. You cannot see a shadow cross your area when a solar eclipse begins, and never you see a shadow unless you're in the total eclipse area. That's when you see a shadow.
Okay, stop.
What?
So, no, wait, Micro. So for all intents and purposes, he's defining the shadow as not containing the penumbra, right? The penumbra for him doesn't count as a shadow.
Amazing.
And I guess that's actually fine as a definition because, well, what to do, count it or not, that's just go one way or do the other way, but just stay consistent, right?
No, this is definitely in the shadow. Definitely in the shadow.
I agree, definitely it's in the shadow. But if he would stick to that definition, he would actually somehow have a point if he were consistent in his video. But as you will see, he won't be.
He's literally like if it worked like he's describing, you would like it would be like just a normal day until the very moment that the total eclipse happened.
Yeah.
Like go all the darks all of a sudden. And then
Because the penumbra is graded, obviously. The penumbra is graded from the very light penumbra to dark and darker penumbra.
Yes, I agree, obviously.
Not in his world.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Well, his world's flat, isn't he? Like his brain.
There's like a secret little switch at NASA, like, and now there's a solar eclipse. Yeah.
I mean, like a Truman Show, only like less boring. Anyway, let's continue.
Let's get real and use what we actually observe, shall we? But here's the problem, right here. You see, no matter how far away the sun is, especially if it's farther away, and it's a ball, only the very little teeny part of the sun that faces the Earth would ever have those light rays strike the Earth.
What? Why?
Again, 3 words in the middle. Not to scale.
No, the scaling isn't even the issue here. He's saying that on the top of the sun, like on the left side on the top, that light ray wouldn't, or that position on the surface of the sun wouldn't be able to actually hit the planet because the photon is emitted more or less radially away from the sun. He doesn't understand that every point on the surface of the sun irradiates photons in every direction.
AKA the laser thing.
Yeah, he thinks the sun is some kind of like omnidirectional laser. Which, by the way, would be a good band name.
Solar laser.
No, omnidirectional laser.
I like it.
I need a soundboard for like the Inception sound.
Okay, more garbage, or does anybody want to add anything?
Might as well kill ourselves quickly.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Has to be. If it's up here, it's on an angle going what? Let's see, out that way. It would never strike the Earth.
Not even going the right way.
Some sort of rule for every 1 degree off at 60 miles. Is it? Yeah. If just 1 degree off, if you're walking, let's say, you want to go from point A to B, and point B is 60 miles away, and you're just 1 degree off, you'll miss it by a mile. All right.
What the fuck is he trying to say here?
I think he's trying to compare, like, if you try and walk straight to something and like just choose a direction at the beginning and you're 1 degree off, you'll miss it. He's trying to compare that, like to say that because of that, almost none of the like only the light from the sun that will actually like if you go directly from the center of the sun and go out will hit the Earth, like within that narrow range of degrees.
Yeah, so he's saying the light ray that he's drawn in there would hit would miss the Earth by a certain amount.
Yeah, and he's making an analogy to trying to walk to some place.
Yes,
he just mangled it even worse than I did.
But how the fuck isn't he able to understand that if that photon was heading in a different direction, namely towards the Earth, it would hit the Earth?
But no, what he's drawn there isn't even correct. That thing wouldn't go through the center of the sun.
Shall we continue this before we all...
Hillefinder is saying it quite nicely. If you use the same logic for a light bulb, you're fucked.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just test how... I'll be testing how powerful my imagination is. This is a beer. This is a beer. This is a beer.
It's not how the placebo effect works.
Crap. No, it doesn't work. Damn it.
It's soda.
Okay.
Hey, if whiskey can count as popcorn, then the soda can count as beer.
Fair enough. I'll give that one to you.
More garbage.
That sounds like another band name.
Now, multiply that
Everybody ready? Can we continue?
Yes.
We'll never be ready for this.
60 miles, or take 93 million miles and divide it by 60. And what would you have if it's just 1 degree off? Well, I just did the math, and if you're just 1 degree
Well, hang on.
facing the Earth,
Wait, you did math?
since we're 93 million miles away, that light beam, all right, just 1 degree off parallel from the Earth, which means just slightly off of wherever we are, center of the sun, would miss the Earth by 1,550,000 miles.
Well, it's
Okay.
a good thing it's not
Whoa.
a pin spot, you dimmass.
Yeah, well, even before that, he said he took one number, divided it by 60. Why the fuck did you do that in the first place?
Well, he's not wrong though. Most of the light from the sun never hits the Earth. Thank God.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
99.999% of it don't hit the Earth. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'd be fucked.
Right.
Well,
But
then we all would be that popcorn and would have our
that's not sequitur to the shape of the shadow. Has fuck all to do with it.
I'm just more confused by the fact that he did math. I thought math wasn't reality.
Oof.
Well, you did irrelevant math on top of it.
Yeah, let's lock him
Yeah,
in a
but
room
like-
with Jeranism and let them talk about geometry.
You really are embracing your inner sadist tonight, aren't you?
Yeah. Same as usual.
Well, we're all embracing our inner masochist, so
This is true.
Like, why do I have the feeling that this fucking bloke thinks that the sun is a goddamn lighthouse or something?
Wait a second. Why would I embrace my inner masochist if that fucktard just wants to suffer?
No, you're sadist
you
because
understand this. Everyone else is the
Yes.
masochist.
Okay, I get the logic. Okay, that's fine.
But seriously, why do I have the feeling that this bloke thinks that the sun is a goddamn lighthouse? Like,
because he would be that retarded.
I need more cocaine for this.
Okay, more garbage.
And yet they have at the top of the sun and the bottom of the sun these rays crisscrossing all of a sudden. to create a different number. So only something like this would ever strike the Earth.
No.
I'm inclined to think that he's saying this deliberately while knowing it's not the case. I mean, he isn't a completely person. Fucking hell! Maybe that cola is working after all.
No,
he isn't. I don't think he's a complete numbnut idiot.
No,
This
but
stuff,
he is a liar.
He's saying this stuff. He's saying this even though he knows it's not real. It's not true. He said that. I mean, no. He's saying he's doing this deliberately. That's fucked.
You know, I think it's not the alcohol. I think you actually got an aneurysm. You should call the doctor. I'm very sorry.
Micro that comment. Nice.
It is.
Let's continue.
Makes sense. So in reality, it doesn't matter how big or small or far away, since it's 93 million miles, I guess you have to say that the exact size of the Earth is the only light rays we see, which means it's the same size. Because
What?
I need to hear that again because I'm
that was super weird.
No, again, he is reiterating his premise that the sun is not an omnidirectional light source, but a string of point light sources. And the only light that will actually get to the Earth are an Earth-sized portion of the sun only.
Oh my god. That would explain why he thinks that the Umbra can't be smaller than the planet.
He essentially thinks that the sun is like a big like a bit like a ball with lasers all angles, so they point directly away from the center.
Well, you could just say a lighthouse.
Well, no, because a lighthouse is also omnidirectional. Yes, the beam is focused a bit, but like it still spreads out.
Fair enough. A laser, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's like a laser disco ball, basically.
A laser lighthouse. There you go. We're there.
Oh, another good band name.
Firing a laser.
I'm a fire in my laser. That was terrible. I apologize.
Okay, more garbage. Actually, we're gonna hear this again just to make sure.
Earth. Makes sense? So in reality, it doesn't matter how big or small or far away, since it's 93 million miles, I guess you have to say that the exact size of the Earth is the only light rays we see, which means it's the same size, because all these other angles are other ways.
He did say that.
Yep, I
The
think
size of the Earth,
blah.
blah, blah. What the +1. Fuck.
I want to die.
Can't we just give him one of those opaque light bulbs? You know, the ones where I actually cannot see the filament on the inside, and then describe to him which part of the light bulb he can see while it's turned on.
Only the part that hits his eyes.
You're right. By that logic, all that would be able to hit, well, all light that he would be able to see would be this the part that is as big as his eye or something.
Yeah, and the rest will be dark.
Well, the size of his eyes. So.
Yeah. But
I need more alcohol and more cocaine.
Well, not even well. The size, like it would be it would be somewhere in between the size of his eyes.
Okay, let's just buy him a bigger light bulb then.
Can we buy him one that's like we need? Like I feel like we need to buy him like one of the light bulbs you use to keep reptiles warm.
But it still wouldn't matter. He doesn't. He most likely doesn't know how to screw it in the socket.
No,
no matter what wattage the light bulb would have, it would still be brighter than him.
I don't think there are enough.
A light bulb that's turned off would be brighter than him just by the fact that it has a temperature and thus it's emitting infrared radiation.
Well, what I just said, like, I don't think there's enough photons in the universe to make him look smart.
Can we just like take a moment to appreciate the fact that he has crossed out not to scale? And that's not deliberate, but like there's something beautiful in it.
Well,
yeah, that was definitely not on purpose. Also, I love the fact that his photon is green.
I mean, technically speaking, the sun does peak in the green.
I know. Anyway, more garbage.
Like the Earth, we'd never see it. No way around it. So again, this is what we should see.
So wait,
What?
stop. Is this about the Earth or is it about the moon now?
He's actually getting to the lunar, the solar eclipse bullshit.
Wait, is that Venus he's added there? Because there's that little dot really close to the sun. Is that Venus?
I think that's his mouse cursor.
Yeah, I think that's his cursor.
No way, the mouse cursor is on the bottom right.
No,
there's more than one mouse cursor in that video.
Also, there's okay, because and there's mine, so that's the third.
Then
one.
we can have all the cursors. It's a very cursory presentation.
Okay, let's continue. This is just too bad.
What we've been doing. All right, this is how science shows it. Except they show.
No.
Oh, what?
Okay,
Citation.
science shows this. Okay, citation, please.
I mean, that's not incorrect. Like, there would be 2 lines of light going in that direction.
Yes,
but
ignoring all the other ones.
Yeah, I was going to say the scientific explanation would still show all the other ones.
That's true, but like this is it's not entirely incorrect.
It's just incorrect. It's incorrect due to omission.
Yes.
You know, I've been wondering how the fuck did the Earth not get destroyed yet? Because his fucking brain is just as dense as a neutron star.
No. Yeah, no. At this point, if this was a star, this would just be a gaseous planet and therefore not a star. And
no. If it still depends. If it still had the mass of the sun, it would have collapsed into a neutron star.
Yeah, but that would be smaller than this, wouldn't it? Neutron stars are like 20 or 30 kilometers in diameter. They're just slightly bigger than black holes.
Well, maybe the sun is closer to the camera.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I know where he got this illustration. He got it from that Pac-Man cartoon up in the 80s.
Waka 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 waka
Waka.
waka waka.
Hey, don't destroy my image of the Muppets with that sound.
Oh, come on. That's not a diagram where the shadow should be, is it?
Yes,
Bring it back, Rumpus.
Why not?
Rumpus obviously doesn't understand that every point on the surface of the sun emits photons in every
I
direction.
made that prediction earlier as being the most stupid thing you could do, and I thought that's too stupid. Surely that's too stupid. But no, he's
Who are we dealing with?
Well, I think we found the only creature on the fucking planet with only one brain cell.
Actually, I
Oh
think
yeah, that's right.
jellyfish only have
Daniel
one
Pratt only
brain
has
cell.
one half.
No, if someone is dumb enough to even have me being active in a hangout like this, then goddamn.
This is special, isn't it? This is a special flat earther, isn't it? This really is. Can't do basic geometry.
But can you name me one flat earther that isn't special?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, they're all. I mean, yeah, but there is even amongst us flat earthers, there's a spectrum of stupidity. But this guy is getting. I mean, even Nathan Oakley, I don't think would try this sort of thing, or Riley, or Quantum Eraser. That I think.
Oh, Riley, maybe.
I think that's pushing it. So this guy really is. I mean, he's not the lowest. Well, I can't think of any. Yeah, there are the Sean Pratts or whatever his name. Daniel Pratt is even
Daniel
more
Pratt.
stupid. Yeah, but this is in the bottom quartile, I think.
Wait, Rumpus, it's gonna get worse.
Oh God, he's going for even lower, is he? Right, okay.
It's gonna get much worse.
Oh,
You'll see.
Are we reaching some kind of peak stupid?
Yes, peak stupidity.
Show it. Little different. Let's see how they show it. All of a sudden, and see, this is how you would actually see the rays. They would come off at the different angles.
Yeah,
Never.
okay.
He did actually draw it correctly at one point. And
All
what's
right.
there? Oh,
Yay!
wow.
Uh-huh.
That's obviously still not correct because the light rays should still come from the top and bottom of the sun, like the other ones that appear to be parallel here.
But it's still better.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
It's already better, and this drawing at least acknowledges that the umbra would be smaller than the fucking moon.
Yes.
Yes.
He is getting somewhere, mate. Nah.
Careful, it's learning.
No. We're kidding.
He'll find a way to fuck it up.
In
Well,
about
that's why I'm saying careful.
Exactly.
you just don't want
I'm starting to feel that Pavlov effect where I'm actually feeling physical pain while wanting to press the K button to continue the video. Oh,
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Hillel wants in. Okay, I didn't see that. Okay,
You just don't want to play that click
6,
button.
7, 8. Okay, yeah, one more.
Click that play button, do you?
Yeah.
Now they have
Do you?
top here. They're going up like this. They come down and they create this little 70-mile shadow across the Earth, right?
Yes.
So if the rays were truly parallel, you'd have this 2,100 roughly mile shadow during a solar eclipse.
No, you wouldn't.
What?
Well, yeah. If the solar rays would behave like this, which, by the way, he contradicted himself already because he already said before that the rays on the surface of the sun would only be facing radially away from it, which is not shown in this fucking diagram.
No, he's saying this is what, like, if this is what he thinks the consequence of what science says would be.
But citation needed.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Hillel, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Okay. If
Then
your
why
brain
did you
is
come in here?
functioning,
Yeah.
stay as far away
Because
from
I
the
have a-
stupid as possible.
I have a terrible urge to not feel all right.
You know, you can just smash your head in with a hammer. It's a lot easier.
I recently I was watching a Thrive and Survive video, and that's why I have a new computer now.
I might
Because it blew up on its own, or because you ruined it?
You have a new
Let's
computer.
just say there's a fist size. Let's just say there's a fist size hole in the monitor.
What type of hardware did you go for?
It's a Mac. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, it's still a PC.
No.
Let's see, where's the fucking kicking button?
You know, I have,
But
K
anyway,
button for kick.
I have the sudden urge to like aim my own bow at my own throat.
Oh, can you film it?
Well, I might just do that.
Okay, more garbage.
wait, also, one more thing. There's something I pointed out in the side chat before, which is that I don't think he realizes it, but he's contradicting himself here in the sense that even in his conception of what the sun is, he doesn't think that it's just like a disk which just points parallel lines at him just to illuminate him. Obviously, he thinks that the sun radiates light in all directions from every single point, but somehow he doesn't give that same ability to our version of the sun, where it literally just creates one photon which goes exactly perpendicular to the surface of wherever it comes out.
Well, no, he's saying that he thinks that this is what we should be thinking. So, in my opinion, this entire thing is just a giant straw man in that way.
Yeah,
Sorry,
either it's a straw man or he's just contradicting his own knowledge of what the sun does.
Or both.
I've looked away. How come we've got this big black block, which I presume he thinks is now the new shadow? But hold on, he's now given up on his having light from the poles.
No. Rumpus, this is what he thinks. Because he's heard people say that all the light from the sun is parallel. This is what he thinks that science, like how it should work if science was correct.
So wait, does the sun like know where the Earth is and just like track it through the sky?
The trouble is, a lot of people do say that the light from the sun is parallel. You hear even quite intelligent globers do say that, and so if you do take that literally, yes, it's.
But there are two things. First of all, even in this diagram, let's just assume that he was right in that only the light between those two positions of the sun would be hitting the Earth. Even then, the sun or the apparent sun would have an angular diameter, meaning that the light rays would not be parallel. Well,
yes, but then globers say that the light from the sun is parallel, this is the only way that could be the case. So if it does have an angular size, you're absolutely right, Gio. That the fact that the sun has an angular size means it cannot be parallel from it. But
the sun is not a point light source, therefore the light rays are not parallel. But
globers, you often hear globers say, the light from the sun is parallel, and it's not. It's got a 0.5 degree angular size, which means that they are angled by that. Yep. So globers do make this mistake, but obviously they wouldn't they'd probably realize their mistake. They wouldn't, having drawn a diagram like this, they wouldn't. Obviously, they'd get it right. But
that's also that's set in relation to things like corpuscular rays and stuff, where for all intents and purposes they are parallel.
Right. It's meant as a simplification.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to make sure that's what you say. Yes, but even with corpuscular rays, obviously they're not parallel. Because they're 0.5 degrees.
The point is that they're very, 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 very close to being parallel. So
if Flat Earther would ask for clarification, everybody would be able to answer that. Yeah, there's a half a degree of angle between two possible light rays.
The trouble is then they go off and because they hear globers, obviously this is what MrThriveAndSurvive done. He's heard globers saying it's parallel, and so they start drawing diagrams like this.
Earlier,
do you want to know, Rumpus, what MrThriveAndSurvive is really hearing? I think he's hearing something like this. Parallel.
But I think actually, even earlier in this video, he says, "Oh, they're not really parallel. There's some tiny, tiny angle." He says that earlier on in this. So so he's destroying his own argument.
Right, but is he not saying, as Gio said, this is what he thinks that globers think is happening?
Yes, he's trying to strawman us here.
Yeah.
Okay,
so he's not contradicting himself. He's claiming he's trying to show that globers' position is wrong by strawmanning us because globers have said that the light rays are parallel, and they shouldn't say that.
You see, part of Rich's problem is not just that in this sense he just takes something and then just oversimplifies it to hell and back. He also a ton of his false conclusions come from these terrible out of scale diagrams where you have the sun, what is that, twice as far away as the moon. And almost the same,
and 2 times the size of the Earth.
Yeah, basically, yeah. A ton of his false ideas come from these terrible out-of-scale diagrams which he draws. So because he takes some concept, oversimplifies it, and then draws some terrible out of scale diagram to represent what he's thinking, and then comes to even more false conclusions from that, regardless of whether these are people think that he's intentionally lying or to deceive people, or just getting it wrong on accident. Either way, a ton of the conclusions he's putting forward, they are wrong because of these terrible out of scale diagrams from these oversimplifications.
The trouble is, of course, when globers are speaking to flatties, we try and simplify things so we think they'll understand it. And the trouble is, if you start simplifying things to the sort of detailed parallel rays, which people perhaps do understandably, then they're going to get only the very simple bits. You then start making sort of minor errors, and so you're trying to think down to their level. Whereas, you know, when I suspect most globers talk to them about parallel rays, they probably, most of them know that it's not parallel, but they just say it as an approximation. But these globers, these flatties, don't take approximations. Everything has to be one or the other. So they don't understand the nuances of life, and we don't have time. You've only got a limited time to interact with these people, and you can't put all the qualifications in that represent the real world. You've occasionally got to say something simple, and of course, oh my God, then they latch onto that and take it on board and abuse it.
Okay, so any predictions on what he's gonna do next?
Something stupid.
Is he still doing what he thinks the glober's doing, or is he now going to try and present what he thinks is happening?
Oh, you will see.
I doubt very much that. But it looks to me like he's just basically going to reiterate the point that, hey, the shadow should be the same size as the moon, and apparently not cover the entire moon. Sorry, it's just a terrible drawing.
No, but he's presenting this as what the globers think. As I understand, this is not what he thinks. What the globers think.
I think he's taking some element of what he's saying we think, that we think that all the lines come in perfectly parallel from the sun, acting more or less like a point source. And that therefore, because of that, we should, therefore, in our model, the shadow should be a particular diameter, but it's not, so therefore the model's wrong.
You're about 75% correct there.
You know what bothers me?
It's passing grade.
You know what bothers me greatly?
Fluffs?
Apart from that.
More fluffs?
Shredded cheese.
People.
Destruction of our environment.
Microblogganism.
Look at the shit that he made, right? Like lines are not even the same. Like, come on! This bothers me.
Okay, more garbage. 30 more seconds. Fuck this.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, everybody shut the fuck up, please.
Show it this way so that we get a little 70-mile eclipse. Okay, not the parallel like just flashed up there for a second. So let's continue. Here's another way they show it. This is a diagram from the how they were showing the eclipse, the Great American Eclipse of 2017. See, they have to have rays that are actually should be going up in this direction, coming down, making it very small.
Stop. So yeah, those rays are not drawn in for the simple reason they would make the diagram too unnecessarily complicated.
Also the whole point of this is to show where the shadow is falling and the size of the shadow. We're not going to show a bunch of light rays going off in some direction that won't even hit the Earth.
Also, this image looks very much like it's taken from a video that might well be explaining just that.
Yeah, this might be some, I don't know, sci-fi space or something like that.
It's still framed from a video.
Yeah.
Again, this is illustrating my point exactly. By making simplifications to try and make it easier to understand, they then don't understand the simplifications that have necessarily been made to make it possible for them to understand, and then latched onto it, and then...
Yeah, in other words, they're so stupid that simplifying things makes it worse.
Yeah, if you simplify anything to the point where it can be misinterpreted,
they will.
Yeah. These are very silly people, aren't they? I mean, these are people who... I mean, this guy, was it Thrive and Survive? He was on a bloody carrier or something. I mean, you wouldn't really want him near anything with a switch that did anything. I mean, if it was...
Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he the guy who brought the data that the weatherman gathered to the people responsible for the carrier?
Yeah, he is. He is a data gopher. That was it. But his original claim, when I first started getting into this, like almost 5 years ago, his original claim was that he was a civilian meteorologist attached to a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier. And
Wait, what?
immediately, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
why would the military not they would just have their own like military meteorologist? Why would they hire a civilian?
Exactly. He was lying out of his ass, and I called him on it. And it was after that, it's like, oh no, I was stationed on it, and as more and more came out, no, he never went to the actual A school for the rate that he was. He took a test to get away from the deck department.
What is the deck department?
They are the ones who take care of all the ropes, all the mooring lines, and chip and paint pretty much 24/7.
So he was a rating on an aircraft carrier.
Ultimately, yes, as an AG, as an aerographer's mate, but he was only an E4, so third class, which means he was the data collector and coffee gopher.
Right, so he could take a bag with some data in it, or a chip, or something, a CD from one place to another, and he could tie ropes together.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
I'm surprised he didn't fall overboard.
Maybe
he did.
are you sure he didn't? I mean, if he smashed onto some I don't know, metal piece of the,
I'm more surprised that
of
he
the
did.
fuselage, that would explain some of his brain damage, wouldn't it?
I'm
He
more
fell overboard.
surprised that he stuck into one of those airplanes.
If he fell overboard, he would probably be dead.
Yeah, people generally don't survive going overboard from an aircraft carrier when it's out in deep water.
Hey,
Right,
you're very high up.
But if he just fell off the edge and it was stationary, would you survive?
Well, so it's not the fall onto the water that would actually get you unless you went from the flight deck or the atop the island. That fall could potentially kill you if you land wrong. But there are the carrier he was on was actually the JFK, the Kennedy, which was a slight modification of the Kitty Hawk class, which is what I was on. There are a number of sponsons that are only about 15 to 25 feet off the water line when we're out in water. So had he fallen off one of those, you'd survive the impact. Yeah. But the problem is you would get sucked underneath and then chopped up by
even if you didn't, the ship is safe. If the ship is sailing, they're not stopping. They can't just stop and pick you up.
I guess if it was, correct me if I'm wrong about this, Chad, but I guess the standard protocol then would just try to throw a smoke grenade or something to his position, just take a fast boat to try to recover him while the ship is actually moving on.
There is that, but there's also letting the other ships in the battle group know, hey, man overboard this side, and they will get them involved in the search as well. The carrier, depending on what's going on, the carrier might actually slow down and turn around to facilitate releasing one of the small boats to try to go out and fish you out and pull you out of the water.
I wasn't expecting them to just leave people there.
Nope.
Well, you'd have to stop the larger ships because even the wake of the ship, not just the propellers, but the wake would suck you under.
Yeah.
Sounds like a party to me. Hey, I want to try that shit. Yeet!
But remember, you can only try it once, so make sure you get everything right.
Hey, it's still better than listening to this fucking bullshit that this guy has.
That's a good argument. What is more painful, drowning or listening to Fleur? Okay, more garbage. Everybody ready?
Being sucked under. I feel I'm being sucked into this.
I hear a mechanical keyboard typing.
That would be me.
Okay.
I'm posting in the chat. We have had someone has Orca Pasta has been graceful enough to draw a version to scale of the diagram.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you mean like that GeoGebra program thingy that I'll pull up in a few seconds?
Yeah.
Well, this is now you don't have to.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's still to scale.
I'm not sure it is
far
either.
too close.
Yeah.
So in the live chat, Harry Warp said, "My father told me they had man overboard drills on the Forrestal." Oh yeah, all U.S. Navy ships do it, and quite often, especially within the first 5 hours of getting underway from, of any port. And there's an interesting reason for that. It's a way to make sure of that everyone actually came back to the ship from the Liberty port. But oddly enough, we would always lose between 2 and 8 people every time we pulled into Australia. I wonder why.
Did they fall off the cliff?
Oh no, it's people who would just never go back to the boat after going ashore for time off.
Okay, I have 3 hypotheses. Snake bites.
Spider bite.
Shark deaths or cheap prostitutes.
Platypus.
I forgot the option of them falling off the edge of the earth.
Platypus attack.
They are venomous.
They are indeed. Their little the thorn on whatever it is on their hind leg or something.
Yeah, no, it's the male that have like a venomous spike on their front leg that they use to fight.
Platypus attack.
Wait, you mean poison?
That's a good.
Platypus are fucking weird.
They are,
yeah,
aren't they? They are
the
bloody
most
amazing.
strangest mammals in existence.
They are very,
I know. I say that, and like, yeah, everyone goes like, yeah. I mean, no, the platypus, like, they're fucking weird. No, look them up. They're weirder than you think.
They are.
They're poisonous, but if you can't move faster than a platypus,
no, they're not poisonous. They're venomous.
Yeah, it's getting. Yeah, you need to get that. Yeah, because when they first found a platypus, they had something with a beak. Then they found something that had part of I think it was the thing was first. They sent something with a beak and the tail of a beaver, the beak of a bird. Then the something odd about the middle bits as well, with the furry bits. And,
when they first found the platypus, well, I say they. When the British first went there, obviously the Aborigines already knew about it. When the British first went there and found it, they sent it back to the Natural History Museum of London,
and it was rejected.
First of all, it was rejected, and then they spent people spent hours, literally hours, looking for scenes. They refused to believe that this animal was real.
Yeah, indeed. It's a wacky.
Yeah, that's just hilarious. But let's continue because there's still a lot of garbage. We can talk about weird animals later.
Okay.
Well, actually, we are talking about the weird one right now.
It's about to say, speaking of weird animals.
Okay, let's continue. 30 more seconds.
Shadow on the earth. Sorry.
And Micro, you must stop typing.
I'm not typing anymore.
Whoever is typing, the problem is that Google Hangouts actually will stream the audio of the person that's the loudest, and if you have a loud keyboard, then you will practically override the audio coming from my video stream.
As I said, it was me. Sorry, I'm not gonna mute.
It's fine. So absolute silence is required actually for this to be working perfectly.
My dog barking got in there. So Apollo supposedly went to the moon, and they took pictures, and you saw the Earth in the background. So let's see what kind of size of the shadow that should be cast, all right, when the Earth blocks the sunlight on the moon. So we're going to look at lunar eclipses here. So here we have Apollo. Here's an Apollo astronaut somehow in the vacuum of space with his 12 layers of cloth, machine and hand sewn.
Oh yeah, that's how he's in the vacuum.
Somehow.
Like he's in the vacuum in his spacesuit. Yeah, that's why he has a spacesuit.
Not only the spacesuit itself, but also that backpack where all the not dying relevant pieces of kit are in there, oxygen tanks and I don't know recyclers and heaters and whatever.
Do they dispute that when the videos of spacemen going to vacuum chambers as well? I can't remember now what their position is on that, but they believe that spacesuits actually work in a vacuum chamber.
Oh,
they actually don't think they do.
Still deny it.
They still challenge Globus to actually step into vacuum chambers in spacesuits.
Yeah, I think they have. Yeah, so that's their problem. They don't accept that this spacesuit thing is capable of protecting them from a vacuum.
I can't understand why that is. I mean, they understand that we can create vacuum chambers, so chambers that hold the vacuum in. I don't understand why they can't conceive of something in principle which does the opposite, which just keeps the vacuum outside.
Famous example. Do you guys remember when James May, a British TV moderator, actually stepped into a vacuum chamber?
Yeah,
with a spacesuit.
Yeah,
well, spacesuit. It was like a high pressure suit for aviation purposes, I think.
Like I would
it was above the Armstrong limit. They had a water vessel in there that would just evaporate off.
Like I mean, the Flat Earth is willing to pay or find someone who would pay. I would love to go into a vacuum chamber in a spacesuit, because spacesuits are made for the person, so no one else would have a use for it anyway. So I'll probably just get it, and I'll have a spacesuit.
Also, even if you die in there, you get an entry in Wikipedia for that. So really,
I don't get
it's a win-win.
Wikipedia. I get a fuck if I am gonna die, that is a fucking ball ass way to die.
That's a way to go.
Is it $5 million or something for a spacesuit?
Probably.
Yeah, obviously those things are fucking expensive.
So the James May one, when he got into a spacesuit,
that was like an aviation.
Yeah,
it was for high altitude aviation purposes.
Yeah, it was for the spy plane, whatever it's called. The
RS-71 Blackbird.
No, he didn't go to Blackbird.
No, he U2 maybe. He was in the flight suit for the U2.
U2, that was it. Yeah, U2. Yeah, that was right.
Which is a fucking awesome plane, by the way.
That Bono wears on stage.
Yeah. Seriously, nobody got that joke?
I'm not ashamed of my joke.
Anyway, let's continue. 30 more seconds to 8 minutes. Everybody shut the fuck up until then.
Space. And or holding in his pressurized suit from the vacuum of space. Another video on that coming up. And here's the Earth. Wow, what kind of shadow do you think that would cast on the moon if it was blocking the sun?
It's not.
I mean, there's the arc. We should see the size of the arc of the shadow on the Earth, right? I mean, on the moon during a lunar eclipse. Let's look at actual eclipses and see what we see. And remember, because the sun is far away and we get these crisscrossing solar rays, we get a smaller shadow. So reverse.
Well, but isn't this the same guy who claimed you couldn't get smaller shadows no matter what? Sorry, the whole point of this, he's made many videos, has he not, in which he claims that the shadow could not be smaller than the object.
And what he's trying to do now is show lunar eclipse footage and saying that the shadow of the Earth isn't actually smaller than the Earth.
But wait, is he saying that also? He was saying it would create because the Earth is round, it would create when the shadow is cast on it, the shadow would also be round, right?
Yeah,
that's like literally, if you look it up, one of the first ways and for the first reasons people thought the Earth was round, it was because during a lunar eclipse the shadow on the moon is always round.
Yeah,
it is.
Apple spotted that. Yeah,
but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to him, because that's just reasons. Reasons, Hillel. Reasons.
Do we know if Thrive and Survive thinks the moon is a disc or spherical?
Reasons, Rumpus. Reasons.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. He's just saying it's not the way we think it is.
Yes.
All he needs is reasons. He doesn't have to tell you them. He just has to have them.
I just wondered what his position was on the shape and what the moon shape was.
Also, something else that doesn't make sense is his entire point for bringing up this picture was to talk about, let's hypothesize about what kind of shadow the Earth would cast on the moon. What, aside from it being round, this picture isn't going to tell you like what size or like what relative size the shadow of the Earth on the moon is going to be. It's just going to say, oh yeah, sure, it'll be round, which we already knew because the Earth's round. So this picture, he just got it out, obviously, just to talk about spacesuits and how he doesn't like spacesuits or Apollo.
Also, if he's taking this picture, why isn't he talking about the fact that you can't see any stars, which would be a far better conspiracy theory than this moon shadow bullshit? Like, if you want to talk about Apollo footage and you want to make bullshit up, then why not use the star thing?
I'm more surprised he didn't say, "Hey, that lens flare in the astronaut's visor that couldn't have possibly come from the sun. So obviously, he's coming from some sort of stage light somewhere."
No, that would require him to have actually looked at where the sun is coming off from on the Earth.
That would require him to think.
Yes,
Exactly.
More garbage?
Yeah, more garbage.
Earth in front of the moon. The Earth should be casting a smaller shadow than even this. Well, let's take a look at an eclipse.
The shadow smaller than what? You're not showing a shadow.
Yeah, stop. Okay.
No, he thinks that the size, he thinks that the shadow on the moon can't be any bigger than the Earth seen from the moon.
No, what he's saying is the shadow of the solar eclipse, of the lunar eclipse cannot be smaller than the Earth itself.
I don't fucking.
Just right.
Whatever he's saying, it's fucking stupid.
Well said.
Okay, let's give him 30 more seconds. Everybody shut the fuck up until 8:51.
Here's an eclipse, and this part right here is the Earth shadow, right? We're going to see it before it turns colors also, because people will argue, oh no, you got to look at it the other way, Rich. I'll tell you, cognitive dissonance just kills everybody. So I did a little arc here.
Ah!
Ah!
Did you already see that?
I was wondering.
That does not fit.
Wait,
I wonder
let it
why
run
he
until I. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's no.
I would
No.
love it. I would love it if he, somehow came up with an idea as to why this solar eclipse on the moon it doesn't provide us with a well-defined edge instead of this blurry edge. He did make that comment about the space suit and light, and
First of all, the line that he's drawn, the edge that you can see on the right side, that's actually the umbra. The penumbra is further out. You can already see that the moon is discolored in a way, which means that it's definitely in the penumbra already.
Yeah.
The very dark part, that's the umbra itself.
Bo, what you were talking about is that Rich doesn't have thoughts. He has anti-thoughts. He doesn't actually think of things. He just tries to imagine things that are in a way such that it's not what other people think.
Yeah,
do you guys know the sound that MrThriveAndSurvive's brain makes when he's trying to think?
Imagine like a small wheezing.
Ever tried to shift a gear, but you didn't press the clutch pedal first down enough, and it kind of crackles?
What sound does an old dial-up modem make if it can't get connection?
No idea actually.
Screeching.
I mean, it's actually funny that you bring up the anti-thoughts. I think that's why he can't, he's afraid to have a thought, because if he has both anti-thoughts and thoughts at the same time, they will meet and cause an annihilation reaction.
I'm pretty sure, Micro, that has already happened, because this would be the only way to explain the vacuum inside his head.
Yes, he just has if you look at a scan of his brain, there's just holes in there from all the places where the thoughts accidentally and anti-thoughts met and exploded.
Yeah, it looks like the Bikini Atoll, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's Swiss cheese. It's basically some kind of flat Earth dementia.
Can we use it as a source of energy?
Oh, I was just corrected in the side chat. The turtle move said that you actually can't hear anything in a vacuum regarding brain. So yeah. Anyway, more garbage.
That's the sound it makes.
What? Whatever, more garbage.
Here to match it up, right? See how it matches there?
No.
No,
that doesn't match.
Close enough.
Wait, wasn't it actually, Gio? Wasn't it in one of your hangouts from a long while back? In a similar, it was a Thrive and Survive video that had to do with the lunar eclipse that was last January, where I think he claimed, oh yes, again, this shadow doesn't fit with what the Earth would be, and then it was I think it was Halsoy maybe who drew out the whole circle. And then it almost perfectly matched what the size of the Earth should be relative to the moon.
Yes, guess what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, that was me. I on the last.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I drew out the what size it would actually be, and we ended up being something like less than 3% off or something like that. Like some like ridiculously
terrible
close.
Screenshot from a terrible screenshot from some sort of shaky.
And me just eyeballing like where should I put it in the line?
Yeah, but obviously the one that he's drawn in is just not even close. Like he attaches it to the umbra at some points, and then attaches it to like the weaker parts of the penumbra and other places.
What he's done, he's just like he's made a circle that just happens to like be at the intersections of between the umbra and the moon, and then just assume that means that must be how the circle works.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Let me actually open this in Paint, then share my screen.
Ooh.
Okay, so can you see my screen? You should be able to.
Yes, but I don't think the audience can.
Yeah, wait a
Now I
second.
can.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay, so let's actually do this correctly. Let's do green. Oh dear. That's, I think, a little bit too big, is it?
Maybe it's hard to tell.
There's so many bad lines.
Wait. I'm gonna use a better program.
No, that was quite a good effort, I thought, Gio, actually.
No, let me use Paint.net because that was better.
Rumpus, your opinion is wrong.
Bring out the GIMP.
No.
Oh, Paint.net, but the other line was better.
I thought Gio's first effort was not too bad.
Yeah, but Paint.net is a better program in every way.
That's not expected.
Also, Micro, if you could do me a favor and never say the phrase "bring out the GIMP" again, that would be just fantastic.
Bring out the GIMP.
Bring out the GIMP.
I think the GIMP is sleeping.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wake up.
Okay, what do you think? Something like this?
That's better.
I mean, it's definitely better than him.
I think it's still a little. I need a monitor with better contrast, but I think that's
a little bit off, but it's pretty
right.
close.
I mean, you can also choose colors with better contrast.
So as you can see, I'd say in terms of diameter, it's like 1.7 times the diameter of the moon, approximately. Like bigger than 1.5, but smaller than 2.
No, stop that.
Mike was just trying to translate for the flatties.
No, who has the pet turtle that's getting it on?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that video of a turtle getting it on with a croc or something.
Is that a noise of a platypus?
No. The only time a turtle makes any noise is when it's having sex.
Yep, exactly.
And it sounds like it's getting it sounds like a dog toy getting molested.
So what is the size of the shadow from geometry? Well, how big should the shadow be?
Yeah, well, let's see. Okay, so let me switch off the solar eclipse rays. Let me switch on the lunar eclipse rays. Now, obviously, I don't know
numbers.
Obviously, yeah, I don't know that this. I don't know which picture of a solar eclipse this is. So the Earth orbit could change a little bit, and the Moon orbit should change a little bit.
Probably averages would be good.
Yeah, let's take the average.
Yeah, so right. So looking at that, it's about 1.5 times the diameter of the Moon, isn't it?
That's the median, not the average.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. Lunar eclipse and umbra. There we go. But there it is. Oh, and this time it's actually a little bit bigger. So moon angle. So here it would be 1, 2, 2.5, something like that. So yeah, if the moon orbit would be further out, for example, that would shrink. And obviously, if the Earth is further away from the sun, the same thing will happen.
Yeah.
Actually, right. So I think it's over 2 times. Okay.
Is that correct?
Wait, Gio, I have an idea. Why don't you just measure out how big the moon is in the image provided, and then just make an Earth one to match, and then just see how well that fits, instead of just kind of guessing where with this terrible image that he's provided.
What exactly do you want me to do?
So just look at the moon picture that he's provided, measure out how big it is basically in pixels, and then or however you want to do that, and then make another circle which is how big the Earth should basically be in comparison, and then just
Okay.
see how well that curve fits into the.
Well, I thought that's what
the
I
actual
thought the whole
provided
point of
thing.
this going into finding what
First
Geo
of all,
what he was doing. Isn't that what Geo was doing anyway? He was trying to find. He got the dimensions in pixels of that moon, and then
so
you know, it's twice as big.
Yeah, so the gas diameter, so this is the green line, you see it down here, 975 times 975. That's the pixel size of the green circle, okay? Okay, so moon, let's see. Moon! So that's...
I've been mooned.
From there to approximately there, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
So that's 567.
I like how you didn't go across where you can actually see both sides of the moon.
Yeah, but diagonally it would be weird because
No,
Yeah.
you Paint.net still measures it accurately.
It's not going to give. It's not giving you a length.
Yes,
it
it does give me the length,
Yeah.
but it's the same almost.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, 9 pixels is so different.
Yeah, the only point was like it's weird that you didn't choose those points where you could actually see it.
Well, I thought I don't use Paint, so I just guessed. I thought it only gave you vertical.
No, it gives the actual length.
Right.
Micro,
Yeah,
you
it
wouldn't
is
understand.
like
Geo is doing what's called a pro gamer move.
What?
But, Geo, are you sure that shadow? I didn't quite follow what you did in GeoBreaver with your model. But you were sure that the moon shadow should be 2.5 or whatever it was. You thought.
Yeah, well,
Well,
the thing is, it varies. Because, for example, look, when
with
the
elliptical
Earth
orbit,
orbit is further away and the moon is further out, then those actual distances
it
will
changed
vary
by
a little bit.
yeah, we changed by 15%, doesn't it? So
For example, here when so you see there's a little bit of change there. So here it's approximately 2 point something a little bit. Obviously, and also we actually cannot tell where exactly the umbra starts. It could already be here because remember the Earth still has an atmosphere, so the borderline of the umbra is not 100% clear. We could be off by a bunch.
Okay, well, shoving whatever the ratio is, 2.1 or something times the size, number of pixels of the width of the moon. The ratio you've determined.
Okay, so let's just say I'd say approximately 2.2.
Okay, go for okay. So you want 2.2 times 5? Was it 575?
So let's see, 1, 2, more like 2.3 or 2.4. Okay. So let's see. So that would be
565 times 2.2.
567 times 2.2. 1,247.
Okay.
Which would be Paint.net. Let's go for another layer and for a different color. Let's go purple this time. Circle. Bleh. Zoom out.
Goedenavond.
Guten Abend.
Yellow.
Hello.
1,200 and 50, something like that. 47. There we go. That's close enough. So yeah, as you can see, it could still be this.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
So yeah, just judging from that bad picture, it's well within the range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it is definitely not whatever he drew.
Yeah, it's definitely not what he drew. Yeah.
Yes.
So are we debating over how big the circle is of the shadow?
Yeah, basically we are trying to find out how big we actually expect the umbra to be.
His line is the red one, right?
His line is the red one, yes.
Yes, and I can see like in the middle, it's further from the shadow than at the edges. So that already tells you that this circle is too small.
Yes, it's completely fucked.
Yeah.
Now the green one is the one that I'd say fits the most, and the purple one is the one that the geometry demands, at least in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean it's.
So yeah, there's a little bit of difference in there, and we cannot actually tell where the umbra begins in this picture for the simple reason that the Earth has the atmosphere, so a little bit of red light will be bent around it.
Oh yeah,
and there is a penumbra as well.
The whole point, that it's way no matter what, it's way bigger than what he's showing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's go back to his original video.
Oh, he confuses the size of the entire shadow with the umbra.
Yes.
Also.
Well, obviously, the dark part here is only the umbra.
Yeah,
The moon is
sure.
already completely submerged in the penumbra.
Yes, of course, but he probably doesn't get that. I would think.
Yeah, because he
No,
doesn't think that the umbra
he
is a part of the
rejects
shadow.
it. Yeah, he rejects it.
Oh god. Of course.
He rejects your reality and substitutes snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Don't be surprised,
Sorry.
Nestle. He's a fluffer. What do you expect?
He's a very, very silly person, isn't he? He really is.
That's an insult to silly persons.
Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
Also, I would like to apologize to Adam Savage.
Why not? Okay. I'll accept your apology on his behalf.
Thanks.
Okay, let's continue.
And let's see the size. There's the size.
Is it possible that that isn't even a circle?
No.
Like the right. This looks some. Do you see that? That's somehow.
It looks big oval,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks a bit eggish.
That could be the video rather than him. Well, no, actually, the moon looks quite circular, doesn't it?
I'm hungry now.
I don't know, because remember the way that I think he's doing his video is he just screen capped the moon footage and then just copy pasted that maybe as well into some drawing program, and it's just recording him drawing inside the drawing program.
Yes.
So I have no fucking clue why that isn't a circle.
Because he's an idiot.
Ding.
Success.
No, he doesn't.
No, he does.
Okay, more garbage. 40 seconds to 9:30.
For him to suck ass implies that he has a sex life of some description, and I refuse to believe that.
God damn it, Micro.
These people tend to breed, I'm afraid.
Yeah, because
I refuse to believe it.
They've got nothing else to do.
Remember, Rumpus, we're actually in an age where intelligence is not being selected for by natural selection.
Yeah, indeed. That's right. You don't have to live by your wits anymore. Yes. Unfortunately, they've got nothing else to do. They haven't got anything else to do with their brains or activities. They've got no except to go and have some sex as their prime primitive drive. They've got little else to intellectual activity, so they just go back to their primitive urges.
All right, moving on.
I mean, nothing wrong about that, though. The problem is just that they're just too stupid to understand the consequences.
Well, there's only one solution: crusade.
Oh, I was thinking about forced sterilization, but yeah, that works too.
What do you think the crusade is for?
They is fault. They is fault.
Yeah, we're letting all these poor genes.
We'll spin it as a very post-birth abortions.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think all the fluoride in the water is for?
Oh, that's for making the frogs gay.
No, that's not fluoride.
Okay, then that's
something like that.
Whatever.
Atrazine.
Yeah.
Then let's. What was that quote from General Jack D. Ripper in Dr. Strangelove?
All right.
It's
contaminating our bodily fluids.
Precious bodily fluids.
What a fantastic film that is.
To sap and contaminate our precious bodily fluids. That's the quote.
That's one of my favorite top 10 films.
It is a good movie.
Unbelievably good.
Does anybody hear Archer saying phrasing?
You can't have a fight. This is the war room.
No fighting in the war room.
That's right, no fighting.
It actually took me 10 years to understand that the last name of the last mission in Call of Duty 4, No Fighting in the War Room, was a parody of that quote in Dr. Strangelove.
Wait, really?
Yes. And then I noticed there's another mission in there that's called Charlie Doesn't Serve. And then I remember that's from fucking Apocalypse Now.
Yep.
All right. Anyway,
moving on. No garbage.
That was the that's where the last bits of creativity went in the production of Call of Duty.
Yeah, the Modern Warfare series was awesome, though.
Oh, come on, let's get off games.
God damn it.
No garbage. You young persons and your video games?
and your
You millennials and your computing power. Let's continue. 39 more seconds to 9:30.
Size of the Earth. How come it's not smaller? Look at
Sorry, I know that was only 4 seconds, but it is smaller.
It is. Even the terrible one you've drawn, which is so
Yeah.
clearly wrong, is smaller.
Does he actually know how small the moon is compared to the Earth? The diameter ratio is approximately 1 to 3.7, and the mass ratio is 81 to 1.
And also, it has to be small because there is such a thing as a complete lunar eclipse.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Even if the shadow had the size of the Earth, that would still be possible. Right? Yeah. But you can already see that it's small. I mean, he didn't draw this correctly. My green one, I think, is the most reliable, the most probable, but whatever.
How come this image isn't what I manipulated it to be?
My fifis.
Okay, but this time, 34 seconds.
Yeah.
Look at that. And I squeeze it down a little bit because I do have it a little bit elongated. Move it over.
Oh, you actually know.
So he's actually making it worse.
Mm.
Did he just make it worse?
No, I think he made it. He actually made it slightly better.
No, I think now it's oblate.
No, but he made it even smaller, and we already had established that it was too small in the beginning.
Well, hey, if he made it slightly oblate on purpose, good on him, I guess.
Yeah, but not for the. Well, yeah, okay.
But
you know where the
he
door
would have
is.
to have done it on purpose for it to be a good thing.
The oblateness of the Earth, as expected from that shadow, would be smaller than the outer line. What is it, like 30 kilometers out of 12,000 in diameter?
I can't remember Scott Manley's video about it.
Yeah, I think
it's not right.
30 kilometers more on the equator than...
Yeah, that's right. 16 kilometers bulge. Yeah, that's right.
Scott Manley, the bastion of all knowledge.
Okay. 29 seconds, let's go.
Oh, really does. So we have the Earth isn't casting a smaller shadow, but the moon does. Should be no difference.
What?
Yeah, got to 29 seconds, all right.
Yes, so the Earth is casting a smaller shadow. Yeah, that's fine. That's what we expect. And he already had... And he said before...
The whole thing was complaining about the moon about.
Yeah, he said before that the moon's shadow, meaning the umbra, is only 70 miles. Which means that both actually show a smaller umbra than the size of the object that's casting the shadow. What the fuck is his problem?
Contradictions all over the shop.
What did you expect?
Quite. This is it.
Think, McFly, think.
Oh, the pain.
Hello.
Anybody home?
McFly.
Okay, 20 seconds.
Really should be. And from that picture of the Earth in Apollo's picture, does this look like the size of the shadow should be cast?
What the fuck does it have to do with Apollo?
What? No, so he's claiming from a picture of the Earth that was seen in the Apollo picture, you should somehow be able to work out what the size of the shadow of the Earth should be on something a distance that's not in the picture at all. Or
is he saying that the terminator line that was shown on the Earth in that moon picture is actually caused by the moon?
I don't know. He seemed implying you should be able to work out what the size of the shadow should be.
I mean, yeah, that's what it said. Like, he was using that picture to work out how big the shadow should be.
From a distance.
Yeah. Forget the idea that cameras can have different fields of view and focal lengths. Fuck that. If you take a picture of some random object, that's the size of the shadow.
Yeah, also forget the fact that you can zoom in once you've taken that picture.
Nonsense. Blasphemy.
Yeah, it's difficult to know where to begin with that. That really was one of the best ones. That was.
There was no frame of reference in the picture anyway. Like,
also, it's a picture. It's a picture. Also, it's the one he showed. That's a picture of the Earth from the moon versus this is the picture of the moon from the Earth.
Yeah.
Why would you expect? What is he expecting to learn from the other one?
Yeah, there's no. I mean, I suppose you could argue that. No, you need to. I presume what he's sort of saying is that because you're on the moon, you can see where the Earth is, and therefore. But no, it's just got an angular size. So yes, there's absolutely yes. You see, that could be. The most massive. That Earth there could have been the size of the sun or something, and just a long way away, and therefore the shadow that he thinks you could work out from it. It's just not worth trying. It's just. he was trying to use that picture to work out what the size of the shadow of the Earth should be on the moon. And there's just not enough information in there to even begin to start on that process.
Or was he saying that the picture of Apollo was taken during a solar eclipse?
No.
Because he seemed to be indicating towards the Terminator in some way.
No, he wasn't trying to say that.
Okay. Somebody's having a really weird request in the side chat, which I actually will be willing to fulfill. LRJ88 asks me, can you say "come with me" if you want to live in a really high-pitched voice? Come with me if you want to live.
Is that
So-
what's that from?
Sounds
What's that
like
from?
I actually don't know.
Sounds like a tiny Hitler. Sorry.
Well,
Why would you go
probably
with
like
Hitler?
twice its size.
Look, if you want to live, you don't go with Hitler.
It's from Terminator 2, but it's
That's
Arnold.
I'm pretty sure it's
saying
from
it,
every
so-
Terminator, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, it's from
Well,
Terminator.
with me if I want to live.
But
Yes,
it's
that's right. Yes, it's from Terminator.
but it's not a high pitched
Yeah.
voice. Saying
Yeah, why the high-pitched voice request? Yes.
Get to the chopper.
This reminds me of something, Rumpus. Can you actually hear the difference in dialect or an accent between an Austrian person and a German
No,
person?
but Gio, you shouldn't be indulging your chat requests quite so much. That was a silly one.
No, that's funny. This entire hangout is fucking silly. So
It is
yeah,
right.
that's fine by me.
Yeah, actually, you say "I'll be back," Gio, in your most Arnie voice.
I'll be back.
That's pretty close.
Oh.
Now say what Arnold Schwarzenegger says before you start playing a game of chess with him.
What?
I'll be black. I'll be black.
Gio, what killed the dinosaurs?
Oh, fuck's sake.
The Ice Age.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Just say it in German, Gil. Maybe
No.
that'll help. That'll
No,
work.
I won't.
What? I don't understand. Anyway, more garbage. I've got confused by this conversation.
Are you saying this? What we're doing right now is garbage?
Okay, more garbage.
No,
Let's say
we're stalling to try to save what sanity we have left. And Rumpus, for you wanting to get back to the stupid, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Rumpus,
this is a defense
I
mechanism.
didn't understand that.
Watching-
I didn't understand.
Watching
this, but
Rumpus
really,
try and understand memes is just so much better than whatever this other nonsense is.
at least I can see this nonsense. I can look at it.
What you have to think about is dangerous substances. In this case, this idiot here. It isn't just the amount that's important. It's the amount over time that is important.
It's like
So,
radiation.
apparently, apparently that comment is from Mr. Schwarzenegger doing Mr. Freeze. Apparently, I should know that, and I had to have seen that film.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of Batman. I'm not a fan of the Batman film.
Okay.
Mr. Freeze.
You don't watch that movie because you're a fan of Batman?
No, I'm not a fan of Batman.
No, I said you don't watch the movie because you're
I see. Because you are a fan, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you watch it because it's fucking hilarious how bad it is.
Yeah, I avoided that
Yeah,
one.
that was the Clooney days, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yep. Bat nipples.
Bat nipples. Armor nipples. Extra protection.
Whatever, more garbage.
Imagine
More
the
garbage.
Batman suit, but it has
Oh no,
nipples.
more garbage.
Yes, more garbage. Okay, everybody shut the fuck up to 9:45.
I think not. So here is a time-lapse photography of a lunar eclipse in 2017. And let's watch the shadow come across. All right, gets a little bit better defined as it gets further. Notice this, right? I'm going to go back. Notice this oscillation. We always see this oscillation in eclipses. So I always say, I guess the Earth is jumping back and forth in space. Anyway.
What the fuck? What?
First of all, that's not even an oscillation.
The camera moving.
That's not what an oscillation is.
Oh my god.
Remember, oscillation is just movement.
Earth is jumping backwards and forwards in space. What the hell?
Oh, it's not that the sensitivity
Jesus.
of the camera is changing or anything.
Yes.
No, the shadow is literally fucking moving around, like going backwards on the surface for some reason.
Yeah, he doesn't understand that the camera is probably set to automatic, which means that as soon as it notices that the moon is getting darker, it will adjust its brightness, either by increasing the size of the aperture or by increasing the ISO level of the sensor, meaning that you will see those jumps in brightness unless the operator of the camera is competent enough to actually either do this gradually, which would be the best case scenario, or just have it fixed on one point, which would mean that either it starts up too bright or in the end you will end up seeing nothing because it's too dark.
And it's only the noobs that don't use their camera on full manual. Just saying. Unless you're bored and tired.
I thought he was referring to the fact that the moon was like moving up and down in
it was,
the camera.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's
well,
right.
If that's the case, then obviously you can. That's obviously
the camera.
Show it again,
moving.
Gio. Play it again, because I think it does move up and down.
Obviously, the camera's tracking the moon through the sky.
Yeah,
I was trying to work out if there might be might be some sort of atmospheric issue.
Whatever. Let's give him the last 20 seconds again. Everybody, shut the fuck up until we're back at 9:50.
And let's watch the shadow come across. All right. Gets a little bit better defined as it gets further. Notice this, right? I'm going to go back. Notice this oscillation. We always see this oscillation in eclipses. So I always say, I guess the Earth is jumping back and forth in space. Anyway.
Okay, so the oscillation apparently is a little jumping movement.
Yeah,
which just means that when they're using an equatorial mode, it's just not aligned perfectly, and they're realigning it manually every now and then. And
because it's not working.
Maybe just moving. Or maybe
it's not adjusting constantly. It's doing it in segments, or
Yes.
Well, you can honestly see that the brightness changed. So obviously they changed the ISO or the aperture. One of the two.
Yeah, obviously. This moon is moving in the sky, people. So the only reason it's stationary in the frame is because the camera, as Gio implied, is moving to keep it in the center of frame. Yeah, so there's a mechanical operation movement of the camera going on here.
It might be just a small shocks of the apparatus that constantly moves.
Yeah, the stepper motor.
Either it's a stepper motor or somebody just notched it a little bit.
Well, someone walking past. Depending on what it's on,
I mean, the camera is moving throughout this process, so it's not surprising.
But hey, if it gives his narrative, he knows exactly why it's happening.
Yeah, the camera is constantly moving and adjusting its. The camera is not only moving, obviously, to track the moon, but it's also either automatically or manually. Its sensitivity to light is being constantly adjusted so that you can actually see the moon. So obviously there's a ton of stuff here being done with the camera, and it's not like the Earth jumping in any sort of weird way to make the moon move around the frame or to make the shadow move around on the surface.
It's an amazing conclusion.
Apparently MrThriveAndSurvive is like someone who, when he does a handstand and sees the world upside down, he thinks, what the hell is going on? Is the world upside down now?
This is the best globe Earth proof I've seen.
What an idiot! The Earth jiggling backwards and forwards. What a stupid thing to say. I mean, if that was happening, we'd all have these mini earthquakes and think, Jesus Christ, what was that?
Well, remember, he didn't say it was happening. He said that as a joke, like haha. Obviously the globe Earthers are idiots because the only idea I can have for how this could happen would be that.
That sounds like a genuine thought to me.
He can't really joke like that because he's already ridiculous. So trying to be more ridiculous doesn't really work.
Also, he's forgetting the fact that obviously he does agree that this eclipse did happen. And notice that again, I think it was like, remember, he only has anti-thoughts. So he's not actually going to propose what he thinks is really happening here. Because obviously, I think most flat earthers subscribe to, some third somewhat blurry, I guess, object is just passing for the moon. Apparently he thinks that's just weirdly oscillating or whatever.
He's not aware that the camera's having to move to keep this thing in the center of frame.
Nope.
That's the basic problem. Because he doesn't know that, he's then jumping to other conclusions, just like the Earth.
No, the moon's the one jumping, remember?
And a bag of oatmeal.
More garbage?
Yes, more garbage. Let's say to 10:15.
I get to the point where it's really dark, so we can do another little arc to see how it should work. There we go. And now there's no yellow. There's no umber penumbra mixing here. We just have the Earth shadow, right? Look at the arc of that. All right. Now let's put it on.
What the fuck? What the fuck is that? What the ever living fuck shitty fuck is that fucking
That
shit?
is a fantastic.
Yep.
How in the
That's it, he
goddamn
wins.
hell? How in the fresh hell did he fucking do that?
Oh my god.
Is that even? Does he think that looks right? Does the Earth have a force field which projects its shadow like a little bit further, especially like on the edges?
This is a very silly person.
Fuck.
I need some Rohit
Wait, no,
right now.
fuck this.
He's not even trying. He's just not interested in even trying, is he?
There are two things. Not only this, not only the fact that the circle he drew again is way too small, but the other point is he said that there's no umbra and penumbra. Is that edge of the shadow perfectly like clear, or is it blurred a little bit?
He said there was no umbra and penumbra mixing. Whatever the fuck that means.
I mean, when Gio's point earlier about when you could see when it came in, you could see the large portion of the moon changed in brightness as it came in.
It became dimmer, but obviously the exposure of the camera changed so that you could actually see it. Obviously, so the penumbra is already come and gone. Or sorry, not come and gone. It's come and it's already on top of the moon already. So now we just have the umbra coming in. So
and let's not forget that the penumbra is a graduated thing. It's going to go from not being there to, as it gets closer to the umbra, it's going to be darker and darker.
But as the video started, you saw that the umbra came in. The whole moon general. You saw the shadows. You saw the shadow go across the serpent.
He saw it jumping around, but he didn't see that.
There's two things. First of all, we don't know whether this is actually from the same eclipse, and we don't know whether this is from the same camera. So it's possible that, because obviously the color setting that the moon shows compared to the footage we had before is a little bit different.
It can't be the same eclipse from the same camera.
As this shadow came in, it darkened the rest of the image. It wasn't, and it did it in a graduated way. It wasn't like the whole thing, like an aperture change where the whole moon became brighter or darker. You could see there was a graduation of where it became more dark as it got closer to the.
I mean, on the other clip we saw, the shadow was coming in from the other side.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, it was.
I don't think so.
From the left, the other was coming in from the right. So it's not the same.
It could be the same, Micro. This is probably just the end of the eclipse. After the. Oh wait.
No, I'm pretty sure the shadow did. No, I'm pretty sure the shadow actually came in from the right. Sorry, from the left. My bad.
Yes, the shadow is coming in from the left, so this is the beginning of the eclipse, and the footage we saw before is the end of the eclipse. Yes, that way. Yes.
But also, I think forget that terrible circle he's drawn. The bigger conspiracy is where are the stars?
We've done that.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, but it's still relevant.
No, I'm just. Never mind. It's aperture. It's about how light the camera.
Camera settings. That's pretty much it.
Well, remember, if we were to put a solar filter on top of this.
Fuck off.
Gio, can you go back to I know it's going back is bad, but just showing as it starts how what the gradual shading change of the bit that's illuminated. You can see that it's go there. Just watch. You can see that it's getting darker.
The penumbra is at least from here to here.
Yeah.
At least, probably further out. Because again, this could be 95% illuminated and you won't see any fucking difference.
We have also to remember that the transition from the penumbra to the umbra is not like a constant rate. Like right before it transitions, it becomes really dark really fast.
Yes, that's true. There's no linear relation between actually the movement and the ratio of how much of the sun is covered to how big the sun actually is. So there's no linear correlation. You can actually see that in solar eclipses because you will have that crescent pretty much all the way to the end until actually you reach the path of the totality.
Yeah.
That's why you put sunglasses on or protection glasses on during.
We had 950, weren't we?
Yeah.
I thought 10:50.
It was 50.
Oh, at 7. At 8. At 10:8.
Yes, whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
More garbage until 10:30.
Look how big that is. Unreal.
Okay.
Oh,
this
he's
shadow-
made it bigger. Look, he's actually made it bigger. He's actually made
Yeah,
it
he made it bigger. Look, this is approximately, I'd say, about a little less than 2 times the size again of the moon in diameter.
Yeah.
At least that circle's better.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still by the factor of 2 too small compared to the Earth. I mean, just look at my Just look at my screen right now, okay? And I think that's actually rather close. Because if I tilt the moon up a little bit, there we go. So let's 2.5 approximately. Okay, let me scroll all the way to the left and actually measure this distance. So this is 1,700 kilometers. So from here to here is 2,000 kilometers, 4,000 kilometers from here to here, right? No, wait, that's not true. I'm thinking radius. That's not correct. 4,000 and 4,000. So from here to here, it's 8,000 kilometers. From there to there, which means the Earth is somewhere from like here to here in diameter. You check that out. That's much bigger than the umbra at the distance. Obviously, the inner 2 of those light rays, this one and this one, those are the ones that define the umbra. See that?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So yeah, the size of the Earth was from somewhere here to around here.
Yeah.
Which is much bigger than the circle that he drew in, even after correcting. Because obviously we can agree that he was much, way worse off than he is now. So yeah, he's just a fucking idiot. Ding.
Ding.
Again, 1030. Didn't Sly make some calculations on the shadow size like last year, and the shadow is actually fits pretty perfect with the size of the Earth? I think Sly did, yeah. And obviously you can see that I did this in 2 dimensions, and I'm rather close as well. Now, obviously, we don't have all the data. We would need the date of the eclipse and then check out its stellarium, what the angular diameter actually was, and then check it with Celestia on which part of the trajectory of the orbit that the Earth actually was around the sun, where we're closer to the sun, at what was the distance, because those are all factors that we need to factor in to actually determine the exact size of the umbra. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so silent here suddenly.
Well,
we're listening to what you say.
Yeah, we're agreeing. Yeah, you need
once.
Okay, you guys are a little bit stunned by the stupidity of
no, we're absorbing the correctness of your statement, trying to survive.
So all your voice
Yeah.
lines have been sucked in by the magnetism of my genius.
I wouldn't go that far.
That must be it.
Anyway,
Sure.
let's say 10:45.
Earth doesn't get smaller, but the moon does, huh?
Yes, Earth gets smaller, and the moon does.
Is he claiming that the circle he's drawn is the exact diameter of the Earth?
Yes.
Well, how did he determine that?
No, surely he was trying to reflect the shadow.
I already showed that he's off by about a factor of 1.5.
Yeah, but
Also, he didn't even like
the shadow
try.
size,
He
not
didn't even
the Earth.
pretend to measure it.
Yeah, I mean, what he would have to do? What he would have to do is measure in his footage the diameter of the moon in pixels again, and then draw in the actual diameter of the Earth in pixels.
Well, no, he was just trying to draw it round the shadow. That's all he was trying to do.
Yeah, but he's also saying that one he's drawn is exactly the diameter of the Earth, which it shouldn't be.
Did he say that?
Yes.
Yes, that's his whole entire point. He's
Oh,
saying that the shadow, that this shadow is exactly the size of the Earth, but it shouldn't be, because when the moon casts a shadow onto the Earth, then its shadow is it's smaller than the diameter of the moon. So he's saying the Earth should do the same, but it apparently doesn't, even though he's not measured out this red one in any way.
Right, so I missed.
He hasn't even pretended to measure it out.
The way he did it was just to match it to the shadow, and then he's saying, "Yeah, I'm not. I'm sorry, I missed the bit where he said he would claim that was the same size as the Earth." Yeah.
Yes, he's saying it's the same size as the Earth. I can play it again. Let me play the last 15 seconds or so again. Okay, everybody, shut the fuck up until 10:30.
All right. Now let's put it on. Look how big that is.
That's a sentence he doesn't get to say often.
Micro, please be quiet so Rumpus can hear it.
Earth doesn't get smaller, but the moon does, huh?
There it was.
They didn't. Okay, well, they didn't say it was.
No, he said Earth doesn't get smaller, but the moon does, eh? That's what he said.
Yeah.
He's saying that when the Earth casts a shadow onto the moon, it's the size of the Earth. But when the moon casts a shadow onto the Earth,
Well, he didn't
it's
say that.
way smaller than the moon.
He didn't say that. He just who knows? You see, his language is so imprecise. I think we don't quite know what he meant by that. But you might be right. I tend to just wait until they've absolutely said something you cannot misunderstand. And I thought that was a bit nebulous.
He might elaborate later on.
No, it's a planet, not a nebula.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Michael.
Nebula?
Okay, again, everybody shut the fuck up until 10:30.
It can still be nebulous, though, Michael.
God damn it. Now I have to scroll back 1 second.
Sorry.
Fuck.
Let Michael get away with that.
Okay, everybody shut the fuck up, please.
Smaller, but the moon does, huh? That is a huge circle. So the Earth should have taken up the whole sky in that Apollo with this size shadow. Do you see the...
What?
What the fuck?
Oh my! Oh come on!
You can zoom out. Zooming out is a thing. You can take a picture of something and it looks small.
No.
You can take a picture of something such that an ant is like takes up an entire frame, or you could take a picture of a skyscraper so that it only takes up a few pixels.
It's even dumber than that because the shadow he's looking at in the moon pic in the eclipse picture is this Earth shadow. There's no shadow. Like the sun isn't coming. There shouldn't be a shadow in that direction.
Geo, I think it's high time you started using soundboards, and in this case, well, actually, I was thinking more of the game show audio clip at the ready.
What you said? Exactly
that one.
Is one of the most dumbest, idiotic things ever. Something. Everyone in this room is now dumber. I can't remember the full thing, but that clip.
I actually can.
Yeah, it's in the internal Geo.
Right. What you've just said is one of the most idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point of your rambling, incoherent response have you been even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everybody in the room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
Have you printed that out as a cue card and laminated it or something?
No, I don't. That's just random shit I remember for whatever reason, but I don't fucking know where my fucking car keys are.
Someday you'll start when you start finding weird stuff in your fridge, like a remote control. Go see a doctor, okay? Just promise me that one.
I actually am missing the remote control of my TV.
Look in the fridge.
Check in the fridge.
I've been missing it for almost half a year now.
Look at the back of the fridge.
I bet you never checked the fridge.
It's way in back in there, behind all the beer bottles.
Is there a freezer compartment?
Oh, he'll never find it then.
It's actually in the umbra of the fridge's shadow.
Oh, okay. If you look at the fridge, you should immediately be able to tell how big its umbra should be, though.
I fucking hate you guys. Okay, 10:45. Let's go.
The big problem they have, if you have an umbra penumbra, which is the only way they come up with colors in the shadow, which is impossible. Nobody can demonstrate colors in a shadow. Can't do it. Can't cast with color.
What?
Yes, you can. That's pretty fucking
work.
Station needed.
That's pretty fucking simple. If I take a piece of red glass, the shadow from that is gonna be colored because, like,
it's not a shadow. No, it's not a shadow.
It is a shadow.
It absorbs all the light except
the
color of the filter. Yeah.
There's gonna be less light. It's gonna block some of the light. That is a shadow.
No.
So yeah, it is possible.
Yeah, first of all, but the umbra and penumbra actually don't have anything to do with.
I know that.
In this case,
I was just making an easy example of like why what he was saying is untrue.
There are some amazing coloured shadows you can get when you have multicoloured lights, 3 coloured lights, and you shine it out something like a sphere, and then you get the shadows behind it. And due to psychological effects, psychometric effects, they can appear to have colours.
Yeah, the point is, though, for those who don't know, the fact that the umbra and the penumbra in lunar eclipses are actually red is the same reason why sunsets and sunrises are red.
Yeah.
It's light from the sun being bent inside the atmosphere. And this is actually more the case for, light with longer wavelengths is bent more than light with shorter wavelengths, which means that the red light is gonna get bent a little bit around the planet and hit the inside of the umbra.
No, light of higher frequency is bent more than light of lower frequency.
No.
Scattered.
Yeah, it is. Blue light is refracted more than red light.
Yeah.
But the point is that the red light, the blue light doesn't get through the atmosphere, just like sunlight does.
Yeah, the blue light just gets scattered.
Well,
it's not being bent; it's being scattered.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
But there's going to be some refraction.
Said about bending of light.
Yes. I correct myself. Rumpus, you're right. That's true.
But anyway,
I was making that point too. Why is he only him that's correct?
Because the German is embarrassed and the German is jealous of everyone else.
Wait,
the only person he's willing to admit is correct is the English person, because he was already been beaten by them one.
Exactly, they had an awesome RAF.
Do you seriously think, Bo, that I'd rather admit that a Brit is correct than a Dane?
Yes, because
why not?
Because it's not an embarrassment for you to admit that the British person is correct, because you've already been beaten by him once before.
Exactly.
Once?
Well, okay, twice, but I was trying to be at least like not remind him of the first time and stick with one.
To not overload him and make him cry. You know? Yeah.
I just wanna warn you. We Germans aren't all smiles and sunshine.
Two World Wars and 1 World Cup. Do not.
1 World Cup.
I've been getting back on penalties since.
Let's talk about how much football is actually football and not American football, which is, the children's version of rugby, where they pack themselves in because they don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, helmets and padded trousers and shirts and things. Yeah, outrageous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
ours is the
30 sizes larger than their actual size. Yeah,
you guys are fake football.
And what's more, most of the team never actually touched the ball. I cannot believe the Americans have invented a ball game in which half the team, I don't know if you're aware of this.
It's not a ball game, it's an egg game.
And
they're not
they call it football, but how much of a game in terms of seconds is anyone actually using it as a football?
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's not actually allowed.
I will not take this slander.
They're wrestling, and it's just a wrestling exercise for most of those people. They never touch the ball. They're just simply lumbering bloody lumps of meat that just simply run into one another in the middle. Then the ball, if you introduce the ball, they think, what the hell's that? I've never seen that before. What the hell's that?
And even more important,
don't forget the fact that after 20 years of suffering those head concussions, they'll end up murdering their ex-wives and their new boyfriends.
Well, okay, everyone shut up. Okay, as this picture we're looking at will remind you, what country landed on the moon first?
Yeah, and what measurement system did they use?
What country?
What country? That would have been the Russians.
No, with man, with humans.
They beat the Americans to the earth.
Humans. Fuck off.
The whole economic and political structure is derived from the Brits. They're just more of them. If we'd had 250 million people to play with, then we'd have done it. They borrowed our culture and our economic model, and then our sort of general attitude to life, and then they've
You tried to get that many people, but you couldn't hold on to Africa.
Yeah, we can't. The
Americans specifically designed the game they call football. Let's just call it woes rugby, to be aired on television. It was made for TV, not for the sport.
And that's what makes it American.
Yeah. In other words, it makes it stupid.
And that's what makes it. And what makes it American is what makes it better than anything else.
Also, well, Hillel, you like in case you missed it, like the landing on the moon isn't a good argument because the first landing on the moon was by the Russians.
We were the first we put the first humans there, and
That's not what he said.
No,
He said
humans
landing.
there on the moon. Mike, you're not one to say you're not one to say anything about not being able to speak.
Okay, Hilla, do you really want to play this game? Okay, let's see. Who launched the first satellite?
Who nuked the first city?
Can you do me a favor and just answer the question?
That's a good thing, right? Jeez.
Hillel. Who launched the first satellite?
What kind of satellite? Like just like
Satellite.
Any artificial satellite.
Like that was
one that orbited the Earth.
Everybody.
Oh, the one that orbited the Earth. That was,
everybody, please be quiet except
that Russian?
Finder.
Isn't it Russian?
Okay, the Russian. Yes, the Russians. Okay, who sent the first animal into space?
That would also be Russians.
Who sent the first human?
Yeah, but that's not.
Which is
no.
See, they're godless heathens who are torturing some poor animal.
Who sent the first human into space?
Come on.
Yeah, so
Get
you're not
on with
American.
it.
I don't know if you've ever
who
heard
got
of the
the-
Fifth Amendment.
Who got the first footage from the backside of the moon?
Yeah.
Who made the
American?
The spacewalk
The
as
Americans did it.
Yeah.
Yes, I was about to say that, Rumpus. Who did the first spacewalk?
Actually, is that
Americans
correct?
did everything first.
Footage or photos from the backside of the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Wouldn't
Lunar
that
Jump
be the
5, I
Chinese,
think.
actually?
That was the Ruskies.
Yes, it was
Americans,
the
we did
Russians.
it first, and we did it
Was it?
best.
It was the Russians, which is why some of the craters on the
news.
backside of the
Fake
moon are
news.
named after Russian people.
Fake news.
Yep.
Wrong. Fake news.
And they also landed on the moon first. With their
Yep.
All of this is fake news.
Weenie.
Americans did everything first, and we did everything
I
best.
think I can see your problem, actually, Hillel, here. This is why you elected a president who doesn't understand, who's not.
To be fair, I will Thrive and Survive. I'm pretty sure he is one of us. He's one of ours, so I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, well, thanks for apologizing for
That.
Well, that's another first you have. First person to reach an IQ of 0.
Bo, you said you got rugby. Have you got rugby? Are you Dane or Norwegian? I can't remember.
Danish.
Danish, right. So
Shut
you got players over there.
What's the
Sorry?
difference?
Do you play?
Fuck you.
Do you play rugby in Denmark?
Well, it is a sport that is getting more and more popular. Unfortunately, it's wussy rugby that is winning that contest.
Oh my god! Bloody hell!
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. More garbage.
Yes, I think.
Oh, you just lost the will to live.
I was just grabbing a new bottle. Okay, let's continue until, let's say, 11:10.
Have you found the remote yet?
No. Let's continue.
Doesn't exactly match that, does it? There's the big problem. Just use a little critical thinking, and this is what we do.
Critical thinking. Oh, there's another video clip we need the audio from.
Anything.
Irony.
I'm not even required.
Oh, Sean is here. Let's invite the Sean. Sean,
I swear to God, Irony is standing right behind him with a big old baseball bat, and he has not noticed yet.
No, it's not a big baseball bat. It's a cricket bat.
Irony is definitely American. Okay.
No, irony is hold on. Irony is a Greek.
Okay, but now it's American.
And in any case, if anyone is if anyone in here and possibly coming in here deserves a cricket bat, it would be Sean, because he hates those things. Apparently, Gil does too, but yeah, we don't care about the game.
Well,
wait, are you saying I don't like cricket? Who says I don't like cricket?
No, crickets.
not
cricket.
Wink, wink.
Now I want to see like a cartoon of crickets playing cricket.
Oh, there's something better. I actually saw a video this morning where some cricket was annoying someone in his or her apartment, and she just took a drop of olive oil and looped the cricket up, and it tried to whistle, but it didn't work.
Oh, so he saw animal abuse. How nice!
Yeah, sorry, but that was seriously funny.
So she managed to grab it and then sort of.
No, he didn't grab it. He just dropped a droplet of oil on it.
Right, that's incredible. Wow, that is hilarious.
Fun fact: it's actually like it's named cricket because it's so boring.
By the way, this hello, Hellboy, how are you? Hellboy.
Not good, apparently.
He's very quiet from. Well, while he's sorting out his mic, how about you more garbage?
Yeah, so Hellboy, we cannot hear you. We're just gonna continue for, let's say, 15 more seconds.
Until we interrupt again.
Yes. So everybody, please be quiet.
No.
But why would you do that?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And there's just one thing I want to add real quickly for the unbelievably skeptic non-thinkers. You can use the exact same 93 million mile away sun that the Earth and the Moon do to create the umbra penumbra, supposedly. Go outside with a ball that is 4 times larger than another one. You will then have a ball that represents the Moon and the Earth, and take the Moon and try to, the smaller ball, cast a shadow using the sun. Go at noon when the sun is lined up so you got 90 degrees overhead or close to it, and try to get the Moon to the smaller ball to cast a shadow on the Earth, the ball that represents the Earth. Try to get that shadow that's cast on there to be smaller than the blocking object itself. You've got the exact same sun. Try it. Reverse it. Do what you want.
Okay, yeah, that's actually not that hard for obvious reasons.
Also, where the sun is 90 degrees overhead.
Yeah,
that only happens in most of the world. That doesn't happen.
Well, that's not. I mean, obviously, you would need. That's just to say that you would have, let's say, a bowling ball and a tennis ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
As your representations, and you have half a degree of dispersion between the two rays because of the angular diameter of the sun, which would mean that the distance between the two objects, in order to have this roughly to scale, would be at least a few meters.
Yes.
So yeah, good luck doing that when the sun is directly overhead, because you're gonna fall down somewhere and break your neck.
Oh, let's see a video from him.
That's perfect. That's why they should all do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, again, I'm not in favor of hurting flat earthers because I'm not in favor of animal
we're not hurting them. They're hurting themselves. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Silence equals agreement. So yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, so I might check. Okay, Bullionator, you need to you need to leave. You want to leave? Thank you very much for having. Well, no, thank you very much for joining.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for
sharing.
It's already my second fucking hangout today, so whatever. Thank you very much for joining. Do you have anything to add regarding MrT&S?
He's a fucking idiot.
Ding.
Yeah, again, thanks for joining. Bye. And he's gone. Sorry, let's try this again.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it sounds like since I'm on the laptop. I haven't bothered getting a headset or anything.
It's fine. It's fine. You're a little bit crackly, but for a laptop microphone, it's okay.
Well, it is a Lenovo after all.
Oh, there you go.
So, do you have anything to add so far?
I haven't acquired the desire to kill myself yet, so I guess we can push on.
Okay, so how much of this hangout have you actually seen? Were you in the side chat or in YouTube from the beginning, or did you join later?
I was in very early on, but then I left because pizza and stuff.
There you go.
And I came back like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes ago.
Okay, so you skipped the worst parts.
Yeah.
Well, this is pretty bad. This bit here, I think, is one of the worst bits.
I agree.
This random idea that you can just look at the Earth there and then determine what shadow that should have on the thing, the moon that there's there, and you've got any information about the geometry to do that, to think that, you just are just so stupid. It's incredible.
Okay, there's 41 more seconds to go, so let's just do 10 more seconds now, and then I guess his outro will start anyway, so let's see.
Why? I've done this over and over. You can't do it. The shadow will be the same size or larger every time. Every time. People say, well, the sun.
Stop. Remember earlier when he said that the umbra doesn't count as the shadow? Sorry, the penumbra doesn't count as the shadow?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just contradicted himself again.
Also, obviously, I'm not sure what he doesn't have thoughts. He has anti-thoughts. So I'm not sure what size he actually thinks the sun is, but I think he'll agree it's pretty much bigger than pretty much anything, any like household item. So just get any household item and just have it cast a shadow, and notice and that it will be the umbra will be smaller than the object. Done.
Yep, pretty much.
Also,
yeah, but the problem is he's too stupid to do things correctly.
Also, why is this NASA's problem? Does NASA doesn't own the moon?
Well, they change the light bulb every now and then.
Yeah, the Chinese own the moon. We all know this.
Oh yeah,
NASA has much better stuff to do. For example, for the people that don't know, there's currently something interesting happening on Jupiter, because it looks like the great red spot, which has been rotating over there for at least 250 years or so, is currently unraveling. It will probably not survive the next decade.
Oh,
cool. Now the question is,
over the last 8 weeks, they've seen that huge chunks of the cloud formations have been ripped off of it. So it's possible that it won't see the next years anymore. It's pretty.
Is there any information as to whether or not the decay rate has been accelerating, or just happened to start all of a sudden? Or
no, what was shown was that entire cloud bands, about 10,000 kilometers in length, were ripped away from it by another storm system.
By the way,
its diameter is now down to about 15,000 kilometers, I think. It used to be 45,000 kilometers about a century ago.
Wow. By the way, Jordan Matthew has actually done a video on putting up objects and seeing their shadow projected onto something behind them, and demonstrated that the umbra is smaller than the object itself. He's actually done a practical video on this very thing. So the thing that Thrive and Survive is asking for has been done, is on video and on YouTube now.
A quick point about that. I've tried to explain this to a few people, because the problem always seemed to be that the original light source they use is too small.
Yeah.
Now, a decent way to actually show this is if you take your TV and make it entirely white, and then you have a ping pong ball and a marble, you can actually demonstrate that kind of size scale and shadows casting.
Excellent.
So, but they would start calling it fake, because that's a what do you call it? A square light source, and not a round or spherical. Yeah.
So to answer Gio's question, I first started watching the Hangout when I first said, "What the heck?"
Okay, lucky you, Sean.
Yay!
Because there were some parts that I'm not gonna play the video again for you. You can do that later.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna happen.
Oh no, I challenge you to do it and not to immediately feel the urge to kill yourself.
Oh yeah, I triple dog dare you
from the beginning.
We are all on the we're all like on live on a suicide hotline while we are watching this.
So here's the question: you guys have only been reviewing a single video, right?
Yes.
And it's 2 hours into your Hangout, and it's only a 12-minute video.
Yes, that's normal for us.
This is common practice. I don't see what the problem is here.
I think the way this works is that by talking about it and diluting it, it makes it less potently affecting on our intellect. The fact that we're able to stop it or discuss it, try and anesthetize ourselves to it, and that counter arguments, it makes Sean's ready. But if you get it one concentrated 60.
Shut up, Rumpus! God damn! Quit referencing yourself.
God damn it, Sean! What happened to your hair?
My hair's been gone for a while, dude. But simply put, if it's a 12-minute, 30-second video, it's taking you 2 hours to get this far. This pillow is not good enough face protection.
No,
actually, it's there to scream into it for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So it's actually much more dangerous in its concentrated form than in the
I have a
diluted
pillow
form.
too. Should I use that?
And people wonder why I hold Hangouts sitting on my mattress, because there's pillows easily accessible.
I kind of understand your point now, but I'm sitting on the pillow as well.
I have a bottle. Can I use that?
Yeah, go sit on that. Ow.
Okay.
Okay, there's 32 seconds left, so let's just run the video to the end. Everybody shut the fuck up.
This isn't too uncomfortable. I can get used to that.
Fuck's sake, let's go. Everybody ready?
No.
Sun's rays in the atmosphere, Rich. It's scattered. Yeah, well, that's even better for you, for your side, because it throws the light up, makes it larger, pass it all in different directions, right? That's what they say makes a smaller shadow, is when the light is diffused in different directions or a larger object. So it's all for your favor. Go out and try to do it before you poo-poo this. You can do the actual science yourself. I've done it. Find out.
Wait, he's claiming that he's done science.
How does one poo-poo something?
Okay, pillow moment.
You poo-poo something by disparaging it. That's how you poo-poo something.
Well, I can scream into the bottle.
God, this guy's concentrated stupidity incarnate. It's just amazing. He really is in one of the worst. Sean doing a Beeloo impression or something. He was one of the worst, isn't he? The concentration of stupidity. I mean, even Riley doesn't get this concentration of stupidity that this guy achieves.
I think you know what this reminds me of. We actually need a flat earther scale. We need a scale to objectively determine the amount of stupidity that a fluffer can spew.
Well, RJ has one.
It's the Riley scale. We already have that.
Yeah. Or the Ryan scale. Sorry, the Jaren scale.
Yeah,
I think
Jaren.
it was RJ that invented.
Jaren doesn't put the bar high enough. It's a Riley scale. I'm sorry.
Ouch. Yeah, but we need the resolution though. Does the Riley scale have enough resolution?
I'm pretty sure that MrT&S hits about 2,500 milli-Rileys.
In defense of Jism, he at least tries to be internally consistent.
No. He at least tries to lie internally consistently.
Fails a lot.
We know for a fact that because we know for a fact that he's a Poe.
Yeah.
No,
Riley
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. He's not a Poe. He's a con artist. There's a difference.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
So are we going to finish those
a con
7
artist
seconds?
is a
Or...
Poe that makes money.
Yes, so there's 7 seconds to go. Let's do the last 7 seconds. Everybody shut the fuck up until this is over.
What exactly is going on, which is we've been lied to. NASA's big problem. Take care, guys. God bless.
Okay, I want to point out one thing real quick for Rich in his video making. You see those 3 cards?
Yes.
Those pop up when you tell them to at the end of a video. You're not supposed to be continuing on with your points by the time you get your pop-up set.
You're supposed to have an outro?
That's what that whole system is for, is for your outro.
Exactly.
So, oh my God, Rich, learn how YouTube works. You've been doing
have
it.
an outro though. It was God bless.
For reality people, people that live in reality, it's a good thing because they get to listen to less of his ridiculousness.
Well, the general rule of thumb is on YouTube, when you see those things pop up, the video's done, close it. So they don't hear what you say after those pop up.
Yeah. Okay, what I want to say is, what he just mentioned NASA again. What the fuck does the entire thing have to do with NASA apart from the picture that he's showing right now? Because lunar eclipses were seen and described literally millennia before NASA became a thing.
No. You understand? NASA has the patent on eclipses.
What?
Apparently.
Every single time an eclipse happens, that's when everyone who sees it has to pay royalties to NASA.
I roll royalties.
Well, you have to keep in mind, NASA used to be Nesha or Nesaha or whatever they used for be Hebrew. So they've been around forever, according to flat earthers.
Nesha.
Is that like Abstergo Industries? Seriously?
Yeah.
Nobody got that Assassin's Creed joke.
That was harsh.
I know.
I hate to pick myself up after that joke fell on his face. Sorry, Gio. We'll call it the cultural barrier.
Oh dear.
Well,
I thought. Well, Sean, I thought the cultural barrier is that what your president is currently trying to build on your southern
he's
border.
just a cultural moron.
Gio, maybe you shouldn't speak too much about building cultural barriers.
Yeah, building walls from a German is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys realize that I'm from Western Germany, right?
Yeah, the West Germans didn't build walls, did they? I don't think. They're busy breaking them down and kicking them in.
The West Germans lived in houses where the roofs just floated.
The Germans have a wall kicking tendency. That's what kicking other people's walls in. Visiting without permission.
That's
so how about that weather?
Can't disagree with that.
This is
the
stupid.
weather,
And frankly,
anyways, back to the flurper.
Yes.
You're welcome, Gio.
It's too bad that only 2 of the 3 videos are his own that's being recommended here. That's unfortunate.
Too many.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Yeah, well, I don't know about the bottom left one that says blah, 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 proof. It might be...
The bottom left one is one of Rich's videos.
Does it?
Oh,
do you have
so
control
all of them is.
Do you have control over which ones are recommended?
Yes, you can have them list only your videos or list other people's videos.
You can put in your newest one. You can put in a playlist. You can put in like a specific video where you get the link.
Yeah, generally people use one on one side of the screen, one on the other, and the one on the right is generally for a previous video, and the one on the left is one that YouTube recommends based on the video you just watched. Rich has them all set up to reference his own material.
Well, why would you let them go when you have them in your basement, though?
Yeah. Yikes.
Remind me, how many views did that thing get?
Too many.
Let's see. Okay, so this video was uploaded, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
So no, 2 days ago, whatever. And it's got 11,036 views.
Right.
What's the like-dislike ratio look like?
and his
575 likes and 150 dislikes, so approximately 3 to 1.
Ooh.
That's depressing.
Well,
And he has, but the best thing is his subscriber count.
His
52,928.
His
So-
subscriber count currently is 52,922 according to...
Yeah, 28 on my side. And just think, okay, I don't know how long ago it was published. I mean, if it is 24 hours or more, but
Well, the problem
12,000
is
views.
the problem with subscriber counts is it's based on whatever your local, well, quote unquote, local YouTube server is, because they're all over the world, and it's getting the most updated count from your closest server that you're actually connecting to. So
Yeah, and it's
with
about
Gio being
also
over in
about
Germany,
optimization as well.
with Gio being over in Germany, his closest YouTube server is probably a day behind.
Actually, no,
Yeah.
let me just refresh this. Maybe he just gained 6 subscribers or so in the last few minutes. Yep, now I'm at 52,928.
Cool.
I mean, Linley showed us. I can't help. Sean, I think it was you actually. Linley showed us that you can actually put in keywords on your videos without them showing up.
Yeah, and on your channel, he actually showed how to do it on his channel without realizing to show that he did it on his channel. Yeah, I was flagged or tagged on his channel, not just on specific videos, on his base level channel.
But you
So
weren't apparently, according to him. So yeah.
Oh, we got a video showing that it was. So whenever somebody typed in my name, it would actually automatically put his channel in the results for a search. So yeah, it's a dipshit thing to do, but and then he tried to cover it by saying, "Well, I did it in specific videos." No, he did it at his base channel level.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine when people, when companies do that using AdSense or whatever it's called in Google searches. To
I don't care if he did it.
That's fine. That's fair enough. But
yeah, it's a legitimate tactic to get views to your channel. I totally understand it. The fact that he lied about it is what I'm having a conniption fit about. It's like, why would you lie about something that's a legitimate tactic? I personally don't have channel tags at all, but I don't care if he has channel tags on his channel. It's his channel. If he wants to do it, so be it. It's a legitimate tactic to get views. But he had to lie about it.
Yeah, not only that, it can be shown that he lied about it because he did say this, but we can see by the way you showed us how to do it, see that he did in fact tag your name in there on his channel. Yes, not the video, but still, he did do it, even though he claimed he didn't.
Yeah, I actually went through some of his videos about me and looked for the tags on those. I'm not tagged in them. I'm literally only tagged on like 2 videos of his and his base channel. And he's got like 4 or 5 videos on me, but he didn't tag the videos that I was in or most of the videos I was in for some reason. So yeah, he's just a liar through and through. He is incapable of being honest.
Yeah. Okay, guys, do you have something else that needs some debunking? Because, if there's something to talk about, we could do it.
Riley just uploaded a new video.
Who?
Oh, no.
Who?
Riley.
Right?
Who did it?
Oh. Let's see.
Just about an hour ago, I think.
Oh no!
Okay,
Why would you tell him that?
It's called. Oh no! MrThriveAndSurvive uploaded another one as well. 54 seconds ago.
Oh, lovely!
Absolute proof. No man was in space vacuum.
How can relative density not be a force after this test? Is the title of that video.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, before this test, it was
Without even looking at the video, I'm going to guess he's going to reference back to his egg experiment.
Okay,
I don't think he actually does.
Guys, survey to the side chat. If you want us to debunk this other MrThriveAndSurvive video, type in "please shoot myself" into the side chat. If you want us to debunk Riley, then type "screw it" in the side chat, and if you want us to stop, then say it's enough already. It's already dead.
And as we wake, Sean, I just just for the lulz, made a search with your name, nothing else, no filters. I haven't seen his channel yet.
Yeah, he's actually taking the tags off after he got pointed out the fact that he was lying about having them.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually gotten around to actually taking the tags off.
Yeah.
A lot of screw it's.
Yeah, it's about equal.
That would be Riley.
It's about equal.
Please shoot my screw it. Please try my brain any way you want. Okay. I'd say it's 50-50. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a coin and toss it.
Don't. The game is rigged. I don't trust Germans.
Come on, their ingenuity and their engineering is spot on. At least it was. I mean, now everybody,
that's why
these days are not so good as in the 70s and 80s. But
okay, so it's a €1 coin, a German one. So the eagle is Riley, and the number is MrThriveAndSurvive.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck's sake, it fell down. Let's try this again.
The coin doesn't want to cooperate.
And it's the number, so it's Riley.
Fuck.
And with that, I have to go.
Good choice.
Oh no, you're not bitching out right now.
No, I am actually. All right, it was a lot of fun. See you guys.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I have a strange definition of.
Fun.
Okay, all right. Oops, that was the wrong one. Riley video. Let's see. Sleeping Warrior. How can relative density not be a force after this test?
Not be a force.
Oh no.
I'll tell you why, because it isn't. The end.
It's like if you can get from relative density to that formula that it equals mass times acceleration.
No. It's not times acceleration. Take a look at what he's written there.
I can't. It says force equals mass times acceleration.
It says F equals m times a, but acceleration is usually
you know what it fucking means.
What?
You know what he means.
Yes. But you didn't do it correctly.
This is mass times area.
Yes, exactly.
Or mass times error.
Would that be square area or area squared?
Area squared, obviously. Duh.
Okay. Oh my God. Why am I doing this to myself?
I don't know. Why are you doing it to the rest of us?
Because you demanded it. At least half.
I
of you
didn't
did.
fucking demand jack shit.
Well, I'm talking about the audience. You don't matter.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Nein, danke.
Okay, so I actually have not seen this for obvious reasons. So
One of them being wanting
it's
to
possible that every single one of us might die from stupid exposure. In which case, I already have to apologize to your guys' families, because finding a corpse is bad enough, but finding a corpse with a disgusting grin of anger and of shock on the face is probably more disturbing than the usual one.
Well, in my case, they're gonna be finding a corpse with a syringe that has traces of hydrogen peroxide in it that I've injected directly into my eyeballs.
Why would you do that?
To make the pain go away.
By the way, I've invited Fight the Flat Earth if he wants to join.
Please just get it over with.
Okay, everybody ready?
No.
Do you have your oven mitts? Are your monitors out of punching range? And have you put on your welding masks?
No.
Hey, that won't work. His video is already on my computer, so it doesn't work. Sorry.
I'm not ready, but go ahead anyway.
Oh God, this is gonna be so fucking painful. Okay, let's do it in 1 minute steps, okay? So the first minute, everybody shut the fuck up. It's important that you're silent because otherwise we'll have to repeat this. And I'm pretty sure that nobody wants to do that. So the first minute, let's go.
I have a pillow.
Okay, so this is going to act as a preamble to the test. This is not part of the test. This is simply to make the point. What we do is we get a bell jar. We fill it kind of 3/4 full with water. We leave an air pocket at the top. The air pocket at the top is going to be our independent variable. That is the thing that we are going to manipulate with a cause and effect relationship. So we stick it in this harness. We turn the bell jar upside down. And when we turn it upside down, the weight of the water is trying to pull and stretch the air pocket at the top of the bell house, the bell jar. The weight of the water is stretching or pulling against that volume of air. That's creating a differential. It's creating a negative differential relative to the air it's in. That's clearly creating a force because the lid at the bottom is not moving.
Okay, that was 1 minute.
I have my prediction in the internal chat.
Okay, first of all, to the YouTube chat, to SciFDK, the frame rate, that's actually Google Hangouts. The frame rate itself of his video is fine. So don't blame him on that. Okay.
Just be happy that you don't get all the frames from his video. It will help you.
I can already see where this is fucking going.
Did we make a mistake here?
Yeah, I think so because I haven't seen the video yet, but oh God, this is gonna be painful.
My head hurts.
Okay, should we do the next minute?
Yeah,
go for it.
Okay, one more minute. Oh, for fuck's sake!
So the weight of the water is pulling down on the pocket of air at the top. So this is where it gets a little bit sciencey. Pocket of air at the top of the glass bell jar and change the density of it. We know that density is mass over volume. We can't change the volume without adding more or removing water. But if we could inject more mass into that volume, we could change the density of the pocket of air at the top of the glass bell jar. If we could then change the force, which is the differential between the pressure at the top the density at the top. If we could change that density, remove the differential, then we should be able to make this water fall into the container underneath because we've removed the differential.
Okay. I know what he's going to get wrong here. I already know. He doesn't understand what the fucking vapor pressure is.
No.
As that does draw a slight negative, well, I can't say negative pressure, but it lowers the pressure of the air because the water's trying to pull it down, which it tries to expand it. That lowers the vapor pressure, which means that more water can evaporate and fill that void back to the pressure.
I need to slightly correct it there. The water vapor pressure is actually a constant. What's happening is that, oh fuck's sake, the atmospheric pressure of the gas bubble inside there is going to be reduced, which means that it's actually easier for the water to evaporate. However, the water pressure itself will not increase.
Well, the vapor pressure is trying to get back to its normal state, which is before, the water starts pulling it down. It's literally causing a lower pressure in the, it's actually lowering the density of the air above it, yes, because it's trying to fill more volume.
Yes, but the water pressure of water at room temperature is approximately 20 millibars or so, so that won't
water
make a
pressure.
difference.
Water pressure is correct, but
pressure.
If you lower the air pressure, it allows more to evaporate and try to refill back to its normal air pressure. So it's literally just filling it up with water vapor. And of course, because
no, Sean, you can't actually fill this with 100% water vapor.
Oh, God,
I'm
not saying that it is. I am not saying that it is. It's lowering the air pressure, which allows more water vapor to evaporate into it, as it tries to fill the exact same amount of volume as it tries to stretch the water, or the water keeps trying to pull the air to a lower pressure. What's going to happen is the water is going to keep going lower and lower until it falls out of that lid. It's all because of vapor pressure. It's because the vapor pressure gets reduced as the vacuum gets created.
No, again, the vapor pressure doesn't get reduced. In order to reduce the vapor pressure, you would have to change the temperature. Because vapor pressure for any given substance is a constant at a given temperature. But we might probably be talking past each other here.
I think so.
I think this is where, have you guys seen Thunderfur's demonstration of the vacuum tube where he changes one side by cooling it?
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's what you mean, right?
That's what you're talking about.
You have to cool it to make it transfer.
I'm just talking about how the water is actually trying to pull a vacuum in that void of air because of its weight.
Yeah, the water is trying to fall.
The water is trying to fall, which is pulling on the air.
Yeah, because as the waters fall, that the area that the air fill gets larger, but the air is obviously pulling back on that.
But Sean, the water will actually not evaporate into that void unless the temperature is smaller than the 20 millibars.
Water evaporates all the time as long as it's not freezing. Anything above 32 degrees, water is evaporating. Slower.
Yes. But even at 100% saturation, the partial pressure of the water will not exceed those 20 millibars. Which means you have to decrease the water pressure down to 20 millibars or less in order to actually make the water evaporate.
The point is, this doesn't happen for the reason he thinks it happens.
If this is where he's going.
If this is where he's going.
He's implying what he just said implies that he's gonna attempt to pump more air into it, thereby increasing the density of the air inside it. What he doesn't understand is that it'll also increase the pressure. So what he's actually doing is adding in energy that is eventually gonna force the water down. He's gonna overcome what's currently holding the system in this state.
Yeah, as soon as you surpass 1 atmosphere of pressure in
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean. That's actually the point. The reason why the water just doesn't fall is because the water on the top actually doesn't evaporate away. Because if it did, the water would just fall down, but it doesn't. Do you understand what I'm saying? If the pressure inside the vessel would be those 20 millibars, which is the partial vapor pressure of water at the room temperature, then this is what would happen. However, for the fact that we are far above that pressure, this does not happen.
Well, let's watch the video and see what the tester actually does.
One more minute. Maybe we're currently going probably in the completely wrong direction.
Possibly.
Because it's Riley who knows what he's going to say.
Adding air to it will fall on its own.
Do that. Let's do some science. Okay, so the hypothesis would be relativity appears to be
Guys, please be quiet please be quiet when he's talking. I can't understand a fucking word when you guys are laughing or something in the background.
Sorry. It's kind of hard to not to laugh at this.
No, I need to go back 10 seconds. Is that what you wanted?
Oh my God, no! Okay, everybody mute. Everybody, please. For the love of Sagan.
So the hypothesis would be relative density appears to be a force. We can make things move by changing the density because density is a force. The independent variable would be the pocket of air at the top of the bell housing or the bell jar. We're going to change the density of that. The dependent variable, the effect, would be the forces are equalized and do not remain in a state of disequilibrium. They remain, or they become, a state of equilibrium, and then there's nothing holding the water in the bell jar. The null hypothesis would be if we change the density of the pocket of air at the top of the bell jar, nothing happens and it remains the way it is.
Is that a minute?
Yes.
Okay. With this setup, which is the adding the air to the air pocket from the exterior, it's not changing the density, Riley. It actually isn't. It's just making a larger volume of the same density. Well done.
Yep.
You're just like it's falling out because you're in you're putting pressure on it. You're adding it. The fact that you're pumping air inside it is gonna that adds the energy used to force the air into it.
No.
To the system.
No.
Yes.
All that's happening here is that basically what he could do instead of adding this hose and actually sucking in the air from above is just add a little valve in the jar itself, which is allowing it to get air in. There's no energy added in any way, shape, or form. All that's happening is that
the internal pressure becomes the same or greater than that of.
I thought he was going to pump. Okay, maybe I misunderstood. I thought he was going to pump air in.
No, he's just going to open it.
Oh, okay.
All he's going to do is allow air to stream in.
Yeah, and then because that
same density, different amount of volume.
Yeah, the same reason why why juice cartons will have two holes when you open them.
So this is just literally another case of Anthony not understanding the tool that's being used at all.
Yes.
Well, I actually thought he was going to pump air into it to increase
even if he did that, the effect would be the same.
Well, in that case, the idea being okay, I'm pumping air into it, so I'm increasing the density. There's more air in the air bubble, so I'm increasing the density of it.
Just to make this fun, this is the exact same thing as shotgunning beer.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's where Riley got this little tidbit.
Probably. Though he should try shotgunning fucking 10 liters of vodka.
To be fair, just after the minute mark, he did sound like he did a beer hiccup, so just saying. I'm not kidding. I picked it up, but I didn't want to say anything about it until I had it.
Whatever, one more minute. 4:14, let's say.
So let's just take a moment to look at the apparatus. We've got a tub to capture all the water in case it's successful. We've got the upside down bell jar. We've got a homemade harness or a homemade thing to
Stand.
its upside down position. We've got a tube with blue tack covering the end of it, acting as a plug. And we've got some frozen water where we are going to cool the water going in when we pierce the blue tack. Obviously, it's glass, solid. So what we're going to do, we're going to get some beaker and we're going to fill it with water, 3/4 full. Just normal tap water, nothing special about it. Don't worry, we don't need a ppm meter. I'm going to fill it 3/4 full. The idea is the weight of the water is going to pull against the pocket of air and it's going to force a disequilibrium, a differential. So we're using the weight of the water to create almost like a vacuum. I know it's not really a vacuum, but it's not far off.
What?
That's way more than 3/4, by the way.
No. That's not the problem.
It's the whole.
Claiming it's close to a vacuum.
Yeah.
No, this is still like 99.5% atmospheric pressure, probably more.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he understands the fact that it's the external pressure that keeps the water in the jar, and not.
He doesn't. He thinks that the only pressures that are relevant are the pressures inside.
Do you think he's ever shotgunned a beer?
No.
Before?
Well, he might have, but that doesn't mean he understands why it happens.
I mean, because Riley, if you haven't, you should, and don't stop at 1. Maybe you'll learn something.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see a pressure meter in that air bubble. Because I'm pretty sure that you guys realize that I'm working with vacuums in the lab, obviously for solvent removal. And
if Riley was nice enough to actually provide a link to the video, we could actually ask the people that did this experiment, because Riley didn't.
And usually 10 millibars of pressure differential are enough to keep airlocks shut. So I don't see any reason why this should be close to vacuum.
For a small quick scale of this experiment, by the way, take a straw, dip that straw in a glass, put your finger on top of the straw, lift it out of the glass. Now remove your finger. Bada bing. The exact same experiment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Also, can we just point out that he keeps saying pull against? That doesn't make any sense. You can't pull against something.
I'm actually looking for the video now, so continue on while I look for this.
Okay, one more minute. Everybody ready?
Internal jet.
What?
You found it?
No, his video.
No, I'm looking for the original video that Riley stole for this video.
Apologies.
Okay, one more minute. Everybody ready?
Yes.
I'll take that. That's yes. Let's continue.
We're creating a disequilibrium on purpose. So, measuring jug, normal measuring beaker. So then what we're going to do is get our lid, and our lid in this instance has been pierced with a tube. And the tube's purpose is to be able to inject our increase of mass into the pocket of air at the top so that we can pierce the blue tack at the other end. And because we know it's in a vacuum environment, a suction environment, we know that it's going to cause air to go in through the tube, which will in turn increase the density of the pocket of air at the top of the tube, at the top of the bell housing. And because density equals mass over volume, the volume isn't going to change, but the mass of the volume will. So as you can see, we now have a way of changing the mass of the pocket of air at the top, but the volume will be the same. So we're definitely changing the density of the pocket of air at the top. And all we need to do is create a very small hole in this pipe where the blue tack is at the end of the clamp. Once we let some air go into there, because it's going into a pressure or a negative pressure or a disequilibrium, it's passing through cold water with ice cubes in it. the density of that air has to be more dense than the air that's already in there. That's going to change the mass in the volume. That's going to change the density. And that's going to remove the force of disequilibrium that's currently holding the water in the bell jar.
Stop.
The force of disequilibrium.
Yeah, he's just word salading here, isn't he?
Yes.
Like does he honestly think that like the pocket he has on the top of that jar isn't just the air that used to be up in the top of the jar before he turned it around?
No,
that's what he's implying.
But he apparently says that it's more volume, which makes no sense whatsoever.
No, he's saying it's a he's saying that is a vacuum.
Yes, no, it's not.
Well, no.
Also,
does he not understand that that's just air?
The entire setup with the like cooling down the air. As soon as you have 1 milliliter too much air in there, the entire system is gonna fall apart.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this is this is in an equilibrium. Like, but he seems to think that it's not. Like I'm really not sure what his word salad is.
Yes, the equilibrium here is basically it's the weight force of the water pressing down on the lid against the atmospheric pressure.
What he's basically
correction, the pressure differential that's between the outside and the inside of the glass tube.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the density.
No, he's just basically trying to say that he has the smarts, he is the smart.
No, he has the squirts. That's different.
This is actually why I'm looking for the original video to see what they say that he doesn't want people to hear.
Yeah.
So at colon in the side chat, he thinks that the cold water is gonna cool the air to such a degree that the density will change in a measurable way.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what he said. And yeah, Fred nods. Just ask Sean about this because he's better in terms of copyright issues than I am.
That would be a no because it's a remake, so to speak.
Yeah, Anthony is within fair use on this because he is actually doing commentary on it, even though it's completely wrong. It is still commentary. So Anthony is falling under fair use here.
Oh, Gio?
Yes?
I know it's kind of late, but here. Just because I can.
Oh boy.
Right, I'm gonna screen share you.
So just to demonstrate how you can do this without going through all this effort, right? This is a glass of Coca-Cola. We don't need a ppm meter for it. Right? This is a straw, and it's partially see-through, which I'm not sure if people can see.
Yes, we can.
And if I dip this into the Coca-Cola and I put my finger on top, there will be a liquid column in it. And if I let the finger go, that column disappears.
Witch! Burn the witch!
Don't need no fancy bullshit, bro.
But it's not a bell jar.
Fair enough.
CGI fake. Aye.
You need more tubes and bell jars.
Aye.
Okay, 1 more minute.
I guess.
Who's ready? Somebody not ready?
For that.
Okay.
So you can see the pipe, and inside the pipe there's little droplets of water. The idea is when you see the water running through, or when we see the thing pierce the blue tack, you should see movement inside the tube, proving that the colder air that's going in is going to change the density of the pocket of air at the top of the bell jar. Just ice water. Doesn't really matter how cold it is. It's just colder. It's more dense, colder than the environment.
What did he just say? That it doesn't matter how cold it is?
Yeah, all that matters is that it's more dense.
But yet he doesn't repeat the experiment with various.
You mean he doesn't vary his variable?
Yeah, he just does the experiment once.
It's kind of odd that he's going on about variables, like independent variables, when he's not varying them.
Yeah, as soon as you let gas inside that air bubble at the top of the jar, your system is gonna fall apart, because the equilibrium that we have, which you actually think is not an equilibrium, will be destroyed, because the atmosphere will be because that's basically the atmosphere will be able to get inside that glass jar, because that's what that hose does. Oh my fucking god, this is stupid.
It really is. But then again, it's Riley.
Sean, you got anything to add?
No, I'm still looking for a video.
Okay, more garbage.
We're in the ambient temperature. I think we can all agree on that. So let's set the camera back up again.
Riveting.
What we've got to do is pierce the blue tack, increase the mass in the pocket of air, remove the force, and see if we can get the water to drop. So we push the pin in.
That will happen
I
instantly.
like how he said we.
There's the bubble. So we know that there is air going in right now. And then as we wiggle this, cold air goes in, changes the mass of the pocket of air.
No, air goes in.
And boom.
Yeah, instantly.
Differential that was holding that water to the inside of the jar.
Check that up. Did he say pressure differential or density differential?
Hey, don't.
You just said differential.
Guys. He said wiggle. He wiggled it. That's a very specific choice of word, since he's qualified that you have to wiggle anything or everything.
I know he said something, but I couldn't understand what it was. I thought he put a word before differential.
I think he just said differential. I didn't hear a word before.
Okay, let's play the last, 20 seconds.
Just last 10 seconds.
Let's go for 20 just to be sure.
Fuck you.
We know that there is air going in right now. And then as we wiggle this, the cold air goes in, changes the mass of the pocket of air. And then boom, the pressure differential that was holding.
No pressure, okay.
So yeah, it is a pressure differential, because you're adding more air, which increases the volume but doesn't change the density.
Yeah, basically what's happening, the really important part here is actually the lid of the vessel.
Right.
Now, before the atmospheric pressure on the bottom was the same as the atmospheric pressure in the bubble, plus the pressure from the weight of the water column. Now, the atmospheric pressure that was now let inside there was just a little bit higher, which means that the equilibrium that you had at that lid, from the force pushing on top of it, from the weight of the water and the gas pressure in the bubble, and the outside pressure, that one was no longer equal, because basically the inside pressure of that glass of that air bubble was slightly increased. However, that has absolutely nothing to do with the temperature of the gas you let inside there.
See, this is why I want to find the original video, because I'm willing to bet that he picked up the word pressure differential from the original video, and he's twisted everything else about it, but that was his little Freudian slip that he likes to throw.
Oh my god, he's so... Does this qualify him for first place dumbfuck of the year?
Hey, Gio?
Yes?
I can demonstrate this pressure system right here again.
Oh dear.
See? By moving my diaphragm, right, I can induce a lower atmospheric pressure inside my mouth. And what happens then is that liquid goes in my mouth.
Well, we know that you suck.
I know, right? And this is because now the external pressure is greater than the internal pressure, forcing the liquid through this tube, and I can wiggle this tube, or I can wiggle my diaphragm, or whatever you want me to wiggle.
I thought that's your girlfriend's.
And
what girlfriend?
And like I said before, I can drop this as well, picking it up, and I can drop it.
Mm-hmm.
Really, not all that complicated, Riley. And
oh my fucking god!
I also get to drink this, so that's an added bonus.
Yeah. You're going to drink actual cola, and not Pepsi. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just for clarification.
Uh-huh.
And also a fun talking about the pressure systems that's going on there. What's like there's actually like when your diaphragm moves down, what's actually like making your lungs expand is your pleural cavity that's around your lungs. When you puncture a lung, the problem is that you then you can you equalize the pressure. You create a hole that equalizes the pressure between your pleural cavity, which is the space that's like a sac around your lungs and your lungs. So you can no longer the pleural cavity can no longer expand.
I'm pretty sure, Micro, that the sac is further south.
You're describing a pneumothorax right now, right?
No, I'm describing like what actually pulls your lungs out.
Okay.
There's a pressure to, like, that's why your lung collapses when you're when it punctures, because you need to have like a low pressure in your pleural cavity to pull the lung out.
Yeah, so you are describing a pneumothorax or a collapsed lung detergent.
Yeah.
Well, I'm finding all kinds of experiments like this one on YouTube, but I'm not finding this particular video. So, Anthony, it would be nice that when you steal somebody's video to make your own narrative, you actually link to the original so people can actually fact check what you're saying.
But the thing is, who would actually do this experiment while cooling the water? While cooling the air. It makes absolutely no sense. Why would?
Well, hang on. Yeah, my computer doesn't have the grunts to do this anymore. But try doing a screenshot of somewhere in the video, perhaps before he lets the air in, and do a Google search on that image. See what you come up with. You might get lucky.
Are you talking to me or to Sean?
Further fun fact.
Probably if you have the actual video up.
Because you have a thin layer of water on the inside of your lungs, when you breathe out, in order for your lungs to be able to expand again against the surface pressure of that thin layer of water, your lungs actually produce surfactants. So you're essentially producing like your own soap to help your water to lower the surface tension of the water, so you can actually expand your lungs. Lungs are neat.
Lungs are neat, but they also feel really I'll just say familiar. If you've ever held a lung in your hand, they feel like something different that you're supposed to derive pleasure from.
Yes.
Which is really fucking weird.
But it's even more fun if you have a pig's lung and then you put a hose in it. You can actually blow it up and see it expand.
Oh, it expands into, like, they're essentially balloons. It's insane.
Okay,
one of the perks of combat medic training is playing with intestine or organs like that.
Okay, we got 1 more minute, so I guess let's just end it. Anybody disagree with that?
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go.
Water to the inside of the jar has become equal. It's not in a state of disequilibrium anymore. So we've changed the density of the pocket of air. We've caused the disequilibrium to become equilibrium. And all we did was allow air to travel through the blue tack. Can any baller debunk this? All we changed was the density.
No, you didn't.
How can he get this so fucking backwards?
Hey, Jill?
Yes?
I know I'm doing this quite a bit now just because I'm on the laptop so I can show this, right? But correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I'm going to explain what he claims happens, but what actually happens, right? If I trap this column of liquid.
Yes.
what actually happens, right, is gravity is pulling on it. And it's pulling on it to such an extent that the gas on the top of this tube, quote unquote, stretches, for lack of a better term.
Yes, basically
reducing the internal pressure.
Correct.
Right? As soon as I lift my finger, that pressure now becomes the same as the external atmospheric pressure.
Yes.
And that then means that gravity can now, again, for lack of a better term, overcome the pressure on, or the negative pressure on the inside.
Well, there's no negative pressure in there. There's nothing more to overcome. That's the point.
Yeah. So as soon as I lift my finger, this should drop if gravity is a thing and fluid dynamics work the way they claim it does.
Yes, obviously excluding the capillary effect. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Do something for me while you're still on camera, just to demonstrate a point. Refill the straw back up and hold it up.
Okay.
Because denser stuff should fall, correct?
Yes.
Turn it upside down.
What?
While still holding the straw with your finger, turn it upside down.
Upside down.
Hey!
Oh my!
Hey, you overcome density of the force. Congratulations.
Ta-da! Amazing what you can do with the awesome cola that Coca-Cola is.
How can he get this so wrong with the disequilibrium? What happens is as soon as you put your fucking finger on that and you pull it up, the equilibrium will form between the force by which the water column, in this case your cola column, is getting pulled down by gravity, and the pressure difference basically putting it up again. This is why it's not moving inside the straw anymore. And he thinks this is a disequilibrium, while in fact it is an equilibrium. Like, seriously, what the fuck? How can you get this so wrong? I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? Oh, presenting, yeah. Sorry.
Not that I don't like NASA boxes flipping on a conveyor, but
okay, 1 more minute. Let's end this. Oh well, actually 26 seconds. Whatever. Let's go.
That caused the disequilibrium to become equilibrium. It removed the force.
Again, no. The fact that something starts moving shows that there's no longer a force equilibrium.
That's the whole point.
Because you have a net force onto something. In this case, you will have a net force on the entire water column. I mean, again, how can you get this so wrong?
He's Riley.
Yeah.
Oh, the pain is so fucking real. 16 more seconds.
That was keeping the water in the bell jar. Relative density did that. Debunked me.
We have.
Done.
I think we just did live.
Okay, we'll do it live. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Can we just see that thing, that last thing he put up?
What the fuck? You mean the last pieces of sentence?
Yeah, the last.
Oh shit!
No, not that.
There we go.
Yeah. Remember the
moment. Wait a second.
Remember to pause it before you do that.
Yeah, I just want to know if this is really the last sentence.
It is.
Wait.
Pause.
There we go. Okay.
Remember, the cause in an experiment is the thing that was changed, manipulated by the experiment. No. That is what is assumed. The cause might in an experiment might be other things if it's a variables that are not accounted for. You fucking idiot.
In this specific case, it could be gravity instead of density. I think is correct.
So painful. So painful.
Like this isn't high school science. This is like middle school science.
Not even that.
Like,
well, we have to you have Michael. You have to convert European educational standards to America. No, wait. Oh, darn. I can use that one this time. Damn it.
Well,
never mind.
Like, I mean, like if he honestly thinks this is the case, then he needs to actually come visit an actual lab and actually follow along with an experiment and then sit in on the data, like when the data is discussed. Because what he will realize is that a lot of the discussion is about, hold on, what else could it be that's affecting here? What else could be going on than just the things we manipulated? Like this might actually be the dumbest part of the video.
Well,
No,
again,
no.
the original video, because I'm sure there's things that Riley is contradicting.
Actually, I think, Micro, the fact that he even thinks that the temperature of the inflowing gas should make any fucking difference is stupid enough for me.
Yeah, I had no idea why he claimed it was cold air.
Also,
Because
what I just noticed,
a little bucket of ice, of course.
What I just noticed, remember that there's still a significant volume of air between the actual gas bubble in the vessel and the part that's being cooled, which means that the lid of the vial is actually gonna fall before the cold air can reach it.
Yes.
Also, if that cold air was actually part of it at all, it wouldn't have worked with me simply lifting my finger.
Yes. Yeah, because again, the temperature is fucking irrelevant.
Yeah. The only thing that matters is that there's something being pulled on by gravity, and that creates a pressure difference. And then you remove that pressure difference, and all of a sudden the atmosphere can rush in, and woo!
I hate this.
Okay, you know what? I'm one down for today. I'm gonna end this.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so tomorrow and the day after that, I actually have nothing to do because both days are holidays. Tomorrow is Pentecost, I think, Monday.
Wait, Monday.
Yeah, whatever. And Tuesday is Drinking Tuesday, which is
that is the most German holiday.
No. Okay, guys, I need to tell you the story. So, at my local university, the city in which it is actually known for a kind of Oktoberfest like beer fest called Bergkirchweih.
Of course.
Where basically this is such a long tradition that the university actually gives the students one day off. To actually get as wasted as possible. Now the thing is that the most drunken people are actually the professors.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they do. So yeah, this is always the day after. How did you call it? Whit Monday?
So today is Whit Sunday, and tomorrow is Whit Monday.
Okay,
Okay,
it's always the day after that. So pretty much I have a 4-day weekend, which is why I would suggest that tomorrow we're gonna take a look at MrT&S's other video. What do you think?
Well, I will be able to join in, but be my guest.
What about the rest of you guys? Halsoy, Bo, and Sean?
Nope.
Depends on what's going on.
It'll be too late for me, most likely.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it anyway. I'll just find some Americans.
They don't have a life. Is that what you're getting at, or?
No, I'm saying that for them it will be early afternoon.
They might have a life, but it's not a life worth anything.
Well, no, the Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
Yeah. Then again, I have something really important on Wednesday, so I need some sleep or at least some rest if I can.
Yeah, Wednesday, but tomorrow's Monday. Tomorrow's Monday, so.
Yeah, but
do you have something to do on Tuesday?
Yeah. I'm going to need all the time I can to get some sleep or rest or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, then.
A great spout of no, I have a period of insomnia, so.
Oh dear.
Hey, going good. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna end this. Does anybody want to say anything about this entire quote-unquote experiment?
Fuck you, Riley.
I just want the link to the original video.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find it tomorrow, Sean, but I'm getting seriously fucking tired. It's 20 minutes past midnight over here. So for the 79 people in the side chat who are still watching this for whatever fucking reason, thank you very much for watching. If I feel the desire to torture myself tomorrow again watching MrT&S's video, then I'll surely do another live stream. If not, then you know that I've probably overdone it for this week when it comes to listening to stupidity. But we're going to do that at one point or another. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, for the 4 people who apparently didn't, that's just too fucking bad.
That's cruel of you, by the way, hoping that they enjoy this.
Yeah. Also, I'm fairly certain by the 4 people he means us.
No, I'm meaning the 4 people who disliked the video stream.
I'm going to correct something in chat. CypDK says, like I said, Sean Hofer, he implies in the video he is controlling the camera. He says, let's move the camera up. Here's why I can just debunk that right now. Riley will not use a camera video without him being on camera. He is that much of a narcissist that if he's doing an experiment, he will be on camera as much as possible. So this was not done by Riley.
Anyway, so there's still 4 people in here, so let's do it the old rhetoric way. Sean, say what you have to say and then just go or stay or whatever.
Testicles.
Micro.
Penis.
Alsoy.
Coca-Cola is better than Pepsi. Fucking fight me.
Bo.
Du hast mich.
Yeah, okay.
Or something. I don't know. Yeah, thanks for the stupid.
Sure thing. See you next time. Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, see ya.
And again to the audience, thank you guys very much for watching. I'm sorry if you lost some brain cells, but you know that's to be expected when we are looking at fluffer videos. See you next time.